Say or do something.
Hello.
Rebel.
My name is...
Got it.
Say or do something.
Hello. Rebel.
What up? Say what you want, what you really want.
All right. Alrighty. Before I go back there, I'm gonna get a drink. And then we'll get all going. Anybody need anything while I'm up?
No, thank you.
I'll take a root beer while you're up. Your
root beer?
sweet love.
Did you say sweet love?
Yes.
I don't have any of that in my fridge. Is there anything in my fridge you would like?
Oh. No, I'm good, thank you.
Sorry, it was unclear. Sorry,
I'm just going to be sad for a while, but it's fine. Totally fine.
It's about as close as I have to sweet love.
Sweet love, right there.
It's a maple bourbon. It's like a bourbon maple. Organic syrup.
God.
It's very good maple syrup.
Spiced, smoky, subtly sweet.
Yeah.
Paired with chicken and waffles.
that sounds delicious. That sounds delicious.
And salmon.
It's actually,
and ice cream.
it's what I use for the candied bacon. It's really good.
God, it sounds
Have that. Huh?
What is wrong with people?
Why can't you have sweet stuff on salmon? I thought the whole point of salmon was trying to cover up the fact that it's salmon.
I mean,
Everybody I know,
maybe-
they're like,
maybe
I don't
not.
like it because it tastes fishy. I'm like, it's a fish. It should taste fishy. I don't know. Maybe I don't get it because I'm allergic.
Was made. First federal indictment of a former president.
What are we doing? We don't need that. Don't need any of that. We need this. Bring this up. There we go. All right, I've got live chat up, ready to go. Everything's set, except for I don't have my iPad. So I have to walk back. Well, we'll get to it. I don't need it right yet. Facebook should be up and running. Thank you guys for joining us. Sorry we were late. Massive amounts of technical difficulties. As you can tell, the tabletop camera doesn't want to work. So since it doesn't want to work, we're just going to turn it out of the way. If we get into combat, I can shut off other cameras and pull that one up. For now, we just got out of weeks and weeks of back-to-back combat, and I think it'll be a moment before we get into combat.
I don't think we're
We will see.
specifically capable.
Well, you guys are effectively taking a couple down weeks.
Oh yeah, because like I said, it's going to take them however long to do whatever it is they're going to do with the cube gate, and that's just time passing.
As you guys decide what you're going to do. But that's where you're at. So sorry, I apologize for technical difficulties. I will figure out why that camera's not working at some point this week.
But not right now.
Yeah, we got a lot of things. We got all the drivers updated, got all that said. That was the first part. It's a lot of information, I think, is the issue. Is that it's just a lot of information going in, and Restream just doesn't, or OBS just doesn't enjoy running in 6 cameras at the same time. I've watched other people do it. We've done it before. You have to trick it and play with it. What I probably have to do is cut down the video quality, and then it'll work. I don't know. We'll figure it all out. Anyways. We've cleared out Void Base, so everything there is cleared. You guys have gotten rid of all of the invading creatures, and this location is now yours. You are talking with and working to establish who will be here, where you'll be able to pull people, things like that. what exactly is it that you guys want to do at this moment?
One of the days, I mean, and this is before the cubic gate is set.
Yes, this is while they're establishing the cubic gate.
Adu wants to try to. He's looking to try and ask maybe for some guidance from his god to see if there are any of these sparks around for any of the good gods.
Yeah. That is very doable.
Good gods.
Can you do me a favor? Just
What?
open, close that door up there. Just that way they can do their thing without us interrupting. I forgot that the door was open because I was trying to cool it off down here before you guys got here. How do you want to go about this? Are you just using the guidance spell?
No, not the guidance.
Oh, while he's up, I'm going to grab my laptop. Hold my laptop. Let me sit down. Where is my laptop? Oh, I know where my laptop is.
It does. And from everything I've seen, it doesn't get any better.
Just literally just one day I was fine, and then just one day, like all of a sudden, like the outermost part of my knees were like, on the outside.
Yeah?
I have no idea if it's like a nerve thing or something. I just showed up one day.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Did a lot of crouching and shit at work too, so crawling on my
I
knees.
know all about that.
Yeah, I know you.
Like to use.
I was like, I won't need it. And then you're like, I would like to use abilities. I'm like, shit, I'm going to need to look at abilities, know what things do. Yeah, I have a little extra weight on that, so it's probably trying to hang and get caught. I apologize.
Got the curtain on the wheel. Just
Yeah. You're good.
But yeah, it's definitely
I'm going to.
stress. I don't know if that's gonna stay. Stage.
That'll be close. As long as it's close, that's all we need.
Don't look at room.
It's fine.
Hey, Dick. Pushing your luck.
You know what happened, though? When all that got pulled. This is the real thing. You're pretending like it was an accident. You're just trying to turn your camera to where I can't see you.
I'm okay with that.
I know you are.
In fact, if you want to turn
No.
that camera off to turn the table
Then
thing,
give you a little bit of slack.
You're good. That should be
Other
fine.
ones, it was real tight. Real talk.
You're good. Yeah.
Too bad.
Close enough. I actually see you now. Oh, actually, that's... I got that lined up pretty much exactly where it needed to be.
Nice.
This one's off a little bit now. There. Guidance from your gods via
Divination.
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 Doing some divination. Pulling that up right now. Yeah, other than the fact that there's just now there's wires in front of John, I don't really care. It's fine. They're not in front of you. It's just right above you.
Correct.
Yeah. Did you say get wrecked?
Yes.
That's not nice, man.
My dad, I'm allowed to make them. Give you a hard time. Just because you're allowed to do the same to me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have to get mad at me.
Right?
What do you think?
So what question do you want to ask?
The question.
Ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within the next 7 days.
Goal. For the next 7 days.
Yes.
Is there a good artifact known as a divine spark within the possibility of acquisition within 7 days of our ability to travel?
Is that there or not?
You get
There.
a warm feeling, a sensation that there is something that would be aligned in that.
Because my bad, you guys spilled my coffee.
It slowly builds up inside you. You feel this warmth, perhaps from your armor. This sense of capability, and the warmth seems to grow and coalesce to one point in your chest. And as soon as you feel it all kind of come to one point, all your armor goes just ice cold.
Interesting. But we're learning.
If you want to give me an insight, you might be able to pull a little bit more from that.
Yeah. I'll try an insight. Is this for... That don't even matter. Alright, that's a 31, which is as high as I can get. Actually, and you know what? I might as well just knowledge from the past it, just because I can.
Drop 6.
That's a 35.
35.
Golly.
There's something around you. You can focus on it to bring it close to you. But if it comes in contact with you, you will be left cold, and the warmth of life will be stripped from you, is the way that you're feeling it. Given the idea of, so you're thinking that there's something available, you could possibly get to it. But if you're capable of, because you're kind of asking if you're capable of getting a hold of it, you could probably get in contact with it, you could find it, but you're not sure that you are capable of wielding it yet. Through extensive study, you guys will find out that on the elemental plane of fire, there is a node, which is like a pocket dimension, said to be inhabited by fire giants, that probably holds this crucible, or forge, or
Hammer.
the flames of Surtur. And It's spoken to in different ways. But it's said to be the forge of this evil fire god of creation. That is something that you guys can find. Give me an Arcana. With assistance, because Gleinstern will assist you, because he's been studying with you.
I've been enhancing ability on you guys. You think, is it okay to get another one going?
Enhanced ability is going to give him advantage.
For 10 minutes.
I'm giving him advantage all day, so it's not really going to change anything. You can
Triple
have double
advantage.
advantage,
Quadruple advantage.
which means you get to roll 2 dice and take the better. You don't get to roll 3. You get to take 2 dice and roll the better.
Thus is advantage.
As many advantage, you can add tons of advantages. It doesn't do anything. 23. You are capable of getting what you believe to be the main sigils needed to plane shift to this place. You just need a tuning fork to the elemental plane of fire. And you would be able to plane shift to this pocket node.
Sure, we'll just run down to the store and get one. Guess we need to figure out where we can obtain this tuning fork from.
Do you have friends?
No.
Do you have friends? Do you have friends?
Yeah, we're friends, but nobody's going to help you guys. I have friends, but none of them are here on this rock.
Do you have friends?
I mean, just these ones right here.
Golrak's like, yeah, these guys are my friends. Them, they're like, no, I don't
I
have
was
any
like,
friends.
we have no friends.
Oh, cool. It's cool.
Guess I'll go fuck myself. Cool. Alright. Well, depending on where in Celestia we can gate to and who we can contact, I'm sure I could negotiate travel or acquisition of a tuning fork. I do not have any sort of wealth to purchase things with. Normally I offer services, so we might get slightly sidetracked, depending. But it is something.
You still have all our money, or where was that? Somewhere I wasn't going to.
You have some of your money,
Very, very small percentage of it.
which is still a ridiculously large amount of money. Problem is that a lot of you guys, what you had was you had chests. So you had the Liamin secret chest type ones, where it's a chest full of bags of holding and doing all the
That's
stuff,
what I'm saying. I just have whatever was
tossed
in the
off
bag
in a
of,
pocket
the
dimension.
bag of holding
Yeah.
that I'd carry on me.
What ended up happening was you put all these bags of holding and coins and gemstones in this chest, and you put it away, and once per day you could pull everything in and send it back away to a pocket dimension in that plane of existence. You guys then went back in time, forged a whole new timeline, and then wished yourself back to what would be the present location at that timeline. So the item or everything in those containers is on a previous timeline.
So I guess it sort of, like, technically still exists somewhere.
Just
Just on another
Just
timeline.
very, very out of reach.
on the same world that Anthony Kane exists. That we'll never see again.
Even though you guys also know that those names possibly exist, because you have seen some of those names scrawled out throughout this town.
Yeah. Or somehow Glenn's just knows random names of people.
But, what exactly do you guys wish to do?
So we're just on one on void basis, but we're still on void space, correct?
It's on
You're
this
on your
day,
void base.
I would like to cast Commune. Lay out my sword, wielding my emblem, try and speak directly to Michiko. Or whoever their divine proxy is. Ask a few questions. That to be answered with a yes or no. To ask the questions before the spell ends, which is 11 minutes.
Okay. We're gonna.
Are my companions and I strong enough to pursue the node of the fire plane?
Three questions. Yes.
Would one of us have the potential to wield this divine spark on the fire plane?
Yes.
Potential is good.
Way to hell is paved with good and good potential. That's how that goes, right?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Is this current void base a safe sanctuary from the Titans known as the Four Horsemen?
Unclear.
That's fair, that one's on me.
Less than reassuring.
Is it on? It's not on their radar, but you guys are really good at
Just
putting
fucking
yourself
that
on
up.
people's.
Oh, yeah.
Just walking up to somebody and be like, "Hey, I know you don't know me, but bink," and just poking him in the eye and be like, "Cool, bye."
See ya.
It's like, "Oh, cool. I was just minding my business, but now I'm gonna try to ruin your life. Poke me in the eye."
Yeah, fair enough.
But as of now, it's probably not something that's really tied to them.
Quiz isn't around standing anywhere, I'm sure. He's fucking gone. No, a dude, for whatever reason, approaches Quiz. My God assures me that we have the capability to pursue the spark, and the fire plane node.
I'm sure that any first level character would have the capability to pursue it.
What do these levels that you speak of?
When you first started out,
No, I don't recall this. Did you first start out?
you did.
I awoke flawless.
I'd call you Chuck Norris.
Is that a god where you're from?
I've heard of him.
I'm flattered, I think. We have the capability to acquire this spark.
No, we have the capability to pursue it.
Yes, both.
Pursuing it and acquiring it are two different things.
Says who?
It's the definition of the words, unless you want to start redefining this.
I think we should.
Okay. Then fine. Let us acquire this.
Good. Now you are thinking well,
You-
small friend.
You pursue it once we acquire it.
Yes. Both. This artifact should be able to be wielded by one of us. It does not sound like something necessarily that interests me, but could be a valuable tool.
The elemental plane of fire, right?
Yes.
It's a node within the elemental plane of fire. So it's like a pocket dimension.
Right.
Inside this pocket dimension, it is said that it's a
Double fire.
former forge
Echelon.
of
Double fire.
Surtur, that's run by fire giants.
Your kind are the people of legends who often put giants in the ground.
Fire giants.
I am not concerned. Fire does not afflict me as much as it does others. And I can help those who would need it.
Can you stone shape today?
Yes.
Gleinstone would like to take you to a building that's about 15 by 15, a square building. Bring you inside. Inside he has lots of little rocks and things like that he's gathered from around. He's also dug out the base so that you have access to the ground below him. He would like he closes all the blinds, like closes the front door. So I would like this entire thing stone shaped in to where it's just a 6-foot sphere in the center and the rest of the building's just full of stone. Is that something you can do?
It will take me it might take me 2 days, but I can do that.
That would be great.
Just that 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 castings of it?
Yeah, that'll get it done. Cool. And then when you're done, you'll watch. He'll be outside the building. You filled it up. The shutters are all closed down, so from the outside it looks like just a normal building. But you go to try to open the door, and the door, in theory, shouldn't open because it's stone shaped all shut. But he will do his little thing, and he'll just do his little ethereal jaunt, just disappear.
Should have inscribed Glynswin's home. Something.
It's never too late.
I wouldn't know how to spell his name.
I'm sure your best guess would be close enough.
It's exactly as it sounds. It's like when people are on the phone are like, can we get your email address? Yeah, it's dsw650cnw0x100 at icloud.com. Exactly as it sounds.
Exactly.
What does that mean?
Can you spell that out? I just did.
I literally did. That's exactly what it is.
But cool, because then I can put that, because that is well within range. And then we're happy. Because back doors are fun. But yes, there's also good ones available. Lorquin will also let you know after a few days that she has found somebody who is willing to give or to hand out a rod, or I mean a tuning fork attuned to the elemental plane of fire. But they say that it's worth a lot to them as it's their escape from the material plane if things get bad enough. So
That sounds like an easy trade.
Really just kind of looking for a short-term loan with it. Gary.
yeah, short-term loan. Because you go to the elemental plane of fire and then don't get killed, and then you can bring it back and give it to the guy.
Right.
The only reason he hasn't gone is because he's like, I could get killed on the elemental plane of fire. It's like, but if I'm certain to get killed on the material plane, I will then take my chances on the elemental plane of fire.
That's fair.
But he's willing to trade if you have something to offer that would be worth it to him. So it's just up to you guys.
He has something? He wants something for trade?
If you have something to offer.
I don't have anything. That's why I told you this.
Well, like I said, if he's holding it on to it for an escape from the material plane, like that's what we are already. Like that's where we are. What we are right now is an escape from the material plane.
Could offer him solace here.
That'd be the only idea that I could suggest. Outside of, like, again, we have bags full of jewels, but how far does that really get anybody?
Yeah. Can't spend it if you're dead.
Instead of giant, massive vaults full of jewels.
Yes, unfortunately, you are limited to pretty much the amount of jewels that you can carry. You have as many jewels as you could pretty much be carrying on yourself.
Still a lot, but not. Much is the good. It's true. I don't know, every time I flip by that page in my journal, it just gets, it's bitter.
It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous amount.
Oh, when all the time travel shit happened, I was in the process of, like, actually trying to, like, figure out how much it was all, like, worth. Like, and then literally you just see, like, in the middle of the list where I stopped, I'm just like, alright, well, it doesn't matter anymore.
I mean, there were certain gems that were worth hundreds of millions worth of, in like just individual gemstones. So I mean, you guys had billions of gold worth of gemstones, basically, individually each. And that I was doing it by treasure. There were certain certain shares where like just the gemstones for one share were worth
10 million.
hundreds of millions,
Black.
and you had multiples.
I had two, again, just had 2 shares. 2 shares worth of freaking black opals was 10 million gold.
Yeah. So
2 shares worth of blue sapphires, 10.3 million gold.
Did you get the diamonds figured out? I think diamonds are one of the heavier ones.
Diamonds are the biggest one. I didn't get it down to diamonds, but diamonds are a 5,000. Black opals are a 1,000, so those would be 50 million gold piece worth of diamonds.
Yeah.
And anything else worth 5,000, which is
Just a couple of
the
them.
Jansen ruby, and I think that's it. That's all that I have on here. That was all worth 5,000
It
pieces.
says that the last episode that you can see of this is May 24th.
It's not streaming right now. I was just on it.
Yeah, because I heard it.
It might just be the Facebook thing screwing up again.
Yeah.
You could definitely still find on Rumble. Sad face.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, May 31st is the one. I don't know why it's not connecting to Facebook. I put in all the information. My thing on Facebook was even showing that it was streaming. Let me try one other thing. We'll go try to update the file real quick and see if it pulls in so she can watch it there. I might know exactly what it could be. I refreshed the page. It says it's still going over there, but it reloaded when I refreshed it. So she can try again. I know it's working on Rumble. Ugh. I just gotta move the glass over a little bit. So I refreshed it, so it probably started a new video, but in theory,
There we go.
yeah, I see it live right now. Just refreshed. So I don't know why it didn't before, but it's there now. Either way, I still have the Rumble chat open, and Rumble is what I have live here, so just gotta get her watching on there because they're monetizing more. I might actually have made money on one of my streams. It's kind of fun.
Son of a gun.
My Diablo live stream
That's what I was gonna say. What
had
it
like
is.
1,200 views.
Hell yeah. Freaking sick.
Yeah, there was a lot of people watching that day. A lot of people watched for a good while. Meanwhile, on Facebook, on YouTube, Facebook cuts off after 8 hours.
Yeah.
So like you're not actually streaming for more than 8 hours. So my 18-hour live stream kind of got cut a little bit short on there, and I didn't realize, so I didn't refresh it. But Twitch let me do 18 hours. Rumble let me do 18 hours. YouTube let me do 18 hours. YouTube doesn't allow us to be searched in the algorithm still. Like you literally type in D&D on WIM and it just doesn't come through. You actually have to go to like the actual web page, which is the long code. So that was, I'm like, eh. But Rumble is monetizing and building up. So that's where I like it. I'm happy with Rumble. Rumble is doing a good job for us. We always have a little bit of traffic on Rumble. But yes, you guys have access to to one. You just would have to figure out what you're doing to, or what you're going to offer that person. And I don't remember what I was saying before we got into that. But is there any other spells, anything that we want to do before we start thinking of considering the fact that man bear pig might exist?
Half man, half bear, half pig.
It's just like the best indecisive comment. You know, I'm starting to consider thinking about the realization that man bear pig might exist. Should I be alarmed?
Should I potentially be about?
He knocks the wall down and is just murdering people. I've just recently started considering the fact that Man Bear Pig might exist. He's in the background mauling people. When should I be alarmed? Clean up pretty well. So we have one suggestion of offering sanctuary to a random person we don't know who has a tuning fork and is capable of plane shifting.
Yes.
So that's one idea. Is that one we want to go with?
Suppose we could. Just have to kind of figure out who he is and what he's about.
Well, there. Sure, I know of some major city on Celestia. Or no, having read the Book of Exalted Deeds. Maybe some place that exists still.
She said it would.
It works? Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Um, yes. You're capable of traveling to Celestia, yes?
Yeah, with our cubic gate, I think, right?
Material Plane, Plagues Land, Death Veil, Pandemonium, Elysium, Elemental Chaos.
Oh, sorry, Elysium, not the Celestial Plane. Just kidding.
We're definitely not going there.
That's different.
Do you want to go to
We
Elysium?
can go to Elysium. That's what we got. We can go to Elysium. Elysium's not there.
Yeah, it is. That's a place you don't want to leave, right?
What are you talking about? Maybe you don't want to leave.
It's fine. I mean, Elysium is the home to creatures of unfettered kindness and compassion, and a welcome refuge for planar travelers seeking a safe haven. The plane's bucolic landscape glimmers with life and beauty in their prime. Tranquility seeps into the bones and souls of those who enter the plane. It is a heaven of well-earned rest, a place where the tear of joy glistens on many a cheek. Now, that being said,
I don't think we get too welcome around.
that's the general idea. Alex, give me a religion with advantage, given that thine hast read about stuff.
Well, is the elemental chaos is to the fire to you get to the fire plane from the elemental chaos, right? That's what we're looking at, or is that different? 16.
The elemental chaos elements can be found here as well, but usually they don't stay long, preferring the comfort of their native plane. So the elemental chaos is the farthest extent of the elemental planes. The pure elements dissolve and bleed together in an unending tumult of clashing energies and colliding substance called elemental chaos. So the elemental chaos is kind of what's in between the planes of existence. So yes, from there you could get to other planes, but it would be a travel. You guys can also get to certain planes by just going out into the astral sea and looking for certain colored pockets. You can end up in different planes.
Yep.
What'd you get on your religion?
16.
16. You know what the plane is meant to be, and you know that due to recent events over the past couple of decades, certain planes have had to shut their doors
Like a security.
and cut off openings because massive amounts of people are trying to leave the Feywild.
Right.
The Shadow Veil and the Material Plane have tried to go into other planes of existence, bringing with them plague. And for creatures who are like, oh, it's fine, I'm immune to disease, and then suddenly the plague comes along and they get sick and die, they're like, yeah, maybe this isn't something we should just be doing.
Yeah, you're immune to disease, not immune to plague.
Yes. Yeah, certain things are significantly more challenging than the baseline understanding of what was.
Well,
So there are places, and it is a safe haven for certain people, but they are very weary of letting anybody enter who has been afflicted by a plague.
Good luck, guys.
that's fair. We can bring them to us. That's the whole point.
Bring Elysium to you.
Can bring some form of. I'm certain there have to be people on Elysium who would join the cause to aid and extend a branch of aid to the material plane for those who are suffering. There are probably more people than I could count that will enjoy their peace and not want to disturb it, but there are those who feel the call. And even if they do not want to join us in our cause, they can still give us aid from their home. We probably could not bring all of you there, but I could try and see who I could contact.
It's definitely always a good idea to at least get something going on, but definitely know how chaotic all of us are.
Yeah.
The last thing we want to go do is ruffle the wrong feathers.
Another option would be to reach out to either the other void space folk, the other void spacers, or to the Solarian Empire. I'm sorry, the Tel'Seldarine Empire, and see if they might have information or anything, but it's hard to say. Reaching out to them might also reveal your location here.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that.
As much as we can prevent that from happening, I think the better off we would be.
The Simnic scientists, are you going to offer them safe haven here?
Yeah. That's a notion that they do. They help us with any research we require.
We would absolutely be willing to do that. They would like to research more about the plagues and understanding a way to overcome them. So if you offer them, then they will come and they will establish in the lake in the center and start building and setting up labs and stuff like that.
Is that what this wing base is? Is it one of the ones that, is it like the, the world you showed me, like way before I left, where it's
Yeah,
got
it's
two
both
sides?
sides. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. There's a picture in the Facebook group as well of it, of both sides. One side is a full city, and it's perpetual nighttime, like pretty much just darkness. There's no really anything minor, little like glowing lights. And then the other side is perpetual daytime, where they actually grow trees, and the trees are literally just there to grow oxygen. In the center of it, there's actually a giant lake that goes all the way through it,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
so that you can get from one side to the other.
Yeah, just didn't know if this was still the same place.
good.
Or
Yeah,
Juice-filled center.
it's like a gusher.
pretty much you want to bet that was somebody's idea when they drew it up.
It wasn't my idea at all. I made it up. I just put a water base in the center to access both sides. I wasn't thinking of gushers at all. No. I've been thinking about, or I only started thinking about gushers on Saturday when I didn't get any. It's cool. Some people had gushers. I didn't have gushers. I didn't mind.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's not my fault. Anyways.
Yeah.
So they will start establishing as well. For the most part, they will keep to the waters, in the depths and out of sight. Just doing their thing.
Nice. So we got civic scientists.
Mm-hmm. Was there anybody else we wanted to pull in and bring here? Do you want Laura Quinn to reach out and offer this guy safe haven here?
Trying to figure out who it is. Who's trustworthy is not. Maybe bringing a bunch of bullshit with him.
Well, does then somebody want to go talk to him first? Instead of just letting them come here beforehand?
He's a tradesman. I mean, he trades with everybody, so that's why I reached out to him. But he's never double-crossed me by any means. He's never had a reason to.
Does he also have death?
Last I knew, he was fine.
Well,
It's got to get for sure.
He didn't trade within our death camp, so it makes sense that he wasn't exposed previously.
sounds like this could give him a nice point of operations and give him access to multiple planes of existence. It could expand his business and help us in the process.
Potentially.
Would you mind reaching out?
No, I just need to know what I'm offering him.
Sure, I can find him a shop.
Yeah, wherever you would like. That is not riddled by demons or creatures from the abyss. He will not age. Will not feel hungry.
I will reach out to him and let you know what he says as soon as I can find him on my list of guys. There we go. She will reach up. If you are willing to part with the fire the fire fork, we can offer you a base and home off of the material plane that's safe.
Still trying to think that he has to part with it, just to show up for this adventure. Give it back.
If you survive the adventure.
It's right.
A lot of people don't like to loan things out.
Same. We're persistent. There's a good chance.
Yep. It's like fire giants.
Pursuing is synonymous with acquiring,
Of course it is.
as we have found.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, am I capable of pursuing this girl? Yeah, of course you're capable of pursuing her. She may tell you to go fuck yourself, but you can pursue her all you want.
May I look to acquire. Does not look good.
Well, not with that attitude.
Then she will go to the cubic gate to gain or to have them gate in this person. And they will gate in. She will return to you, and when she returns, you'll notice a relatively tall, 6'1", black hair, a reddish, almost tanned skin, black eyes, black hair, horns coming back.
Title?
Pretty, yeah, trifling. I mean, nothing majorly noticeable about him, except for the collar of his jacket is embroidered with golden notes, music notes. He'll come to you and let you guys know. I'm Garrick, and I'm here to trade Safe Haven for a tuning fork.
It's just that easy. Welcome to your safe haven, friend. There isn't much here at the moment, but we hope to gather more, protect people, bring people here, so that they may experience peace and potential to aid in an ambitious endeavor. We are hunting divine sparks. We will rid the realm of the horsemen.
Well, that is rather ambitious. From what I know, their reach hasn't fallen upon the mental plane of fire, so you may be going the wrong direction if you're looking to take out the horsemen, but I wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
Is there a place in your town here where I can gain access to an ale of sorts?
We have places. I think we lack the equipment. Maybe our dwarf friend has a personal stash. I don't know. Do we have
I may have something somewhere, but
libations here?
it's not been something that's come to mind in recent weeks.
We have yet to reach out to any major cities to open up trade. We figured we needed somebody here first.
Okay. Well,
If you would like to help, I
wasn't really looking for a job, but perhaps I can look into my connections and what's available. Something I wouldn't necessarily just throw out there, because there are a lot more people looking for sanctuary than you are capable of providing sanctuary for.
Or an entire plane's worth of existence at least.
3.
3 planes worth of existence. At least.
And I mean, just entering into Astral Sea alone is difficult, but for you guys to have your own little area here carved out away from people pushing back on it. It's nice, but I will maybe explore a little bit and see what I can't do to find a place to relax and rest. But he will give you a tuning fork. Lorquin will kind of guide him through the city.
Nice. And with this fork, we can eat food.
I mean,
We
you could.
can't. We don't.
You actually could. You can use a tuning fork
We
as a
don't.
normal fork as well.
We don't eat. We don't eat here. There's no
You don't have to. It's not to say you can't.
Pursue food.
Right, we can acquire food.
We're gonna acquire.
You could pursue it. You could potentially
Potentially.
acquire it. It could be poisoned and you could die in the process, but
With this fork,
mhm,
once we've acquired it.
this is true.
And so who is doing the plane shifting? Excellent.
I guess you could try. We used to have somebody who was pretty good for this.
Did you, or did you have somebody who had an item who was good at it?
Who's saying this? Who said this? Who's talking right now? Fuck you.
Yeah, let's just randomly throw a fuck you out right before he gets to roll and see where you randomly get sent.
You know, she was like level 12, alright? She did her best.
I'm not saying it was all bad.
And she did great getting where she needed to go, alright? Let's just...
Might have been a couple
It's
of
like
extra stops
everyone's
on the way.
everyone else was just at the luck of the draw.
There was a couple extra stops along the way, but
Orcus only almost got her a few times. Okay, let's calm down.
Mm-hmm. That was straight just a roll for initiative because you had less than 100 hit points.
Mhm.
If you rolled higher than initiative, it would have been powered kill. as a layer action.
Mhm.
So you have a tuning fork and a ritual circle that you can use. Just need to throw a plane shift into it. If you guys want to just immediately shoot off to the first place you find.
I think we'd like to be a little more accurate.
One I would not like to go today, considering I've cast spells for the day.
We got time.
Plenty of time. If there's one thing that we've been doing is rushing.
Give me
Don't need to rush
an
anywhere.
Arcana with advantage because you are being assisted.
15.
When it's talking about the items tied to Lolth, the item tied to Lolth, it refers to, says the tracking the item is difficult as it's lost in one of the 7 vaults. Along with other artifacts, but it's hard to figure out which one it could be in. Looks like that's kind of where their trail dead ended. It ended up in one of the 7 vaults.
Vaults. And what are vaults? These vaults.
It's like a treasure chest, but bigger. It's got a door instead of a lid.
Material plane. Fire plane.
Different levels.
Nobody
Could be on.
knows.
Could be on all. 7 of them. Could be on 7 planes of existence.
Is that what I rolled for? Was my knowledge of knowing this?
Just of what I was going to tell you of it, but
Yeah.
if you know anything more, then you can offer
you
it.
don't.
If you want me to tell you more, roll higher than 15 last time. You don't get to re-roll. You just have to go back and
Sorry, this is better.
you forgot some of the stuff you knew.
Yeah.
What?
I know that I don't know.
All I know is I don't know.
Yeah. They were tracking items in the astral sea. So potentially they're in the astral sea somewhere, but who knows for sure.
Big place.
I refuse to map anymore, dude.
I'm still used to the map. It just for some reason tucked over here. But you still have your map.
The freaking astral sea map.
You're not sure how spot on that is because that's from a timeline that changed 20 years ago.
Well, and shit is moving around anyway. So.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not
it
really
moves.
that kind of map though, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's more of a. I mean, it's like a map in the same way as like you could substitute it out for like a deck of cards.
Okay.
Like you don't necessarily know exactly where everything is.
So is there
You
is
can
there
shuffle
new,
it,
is there
but-
new cards or is there new things on the map that we don't know about?
The map is one that he had on him, so it's a physical map, so that wouldn't have changed.
So yes, probably there's.
But there
stuff
could
in
be
the
new
astral
stuff.
sea that we have not encountered before. Cool. New, different, cool stuff. Always cool.
I mean, you guys were already finding things that you hadn't encountered before. You know, there was like you only knew about one base, and then after you found the one void base, you found out that there was like 13 of them.
No, this looks like you're writing something that.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it should be my writing. A lot of it is.
I meant like the pencil stuff.
No?
Some of it's written pencil. Looks like my writing, but not all of it. That's mine. That's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh no, that's a void base. So that's not your handwriting, because those are the extra void bases that you found and were told about. Like void base F, which you guys still have yet to come up with a name for.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been up for 3 months. You guys still couldn't come up with a name for it?
Fuck, dude, it didn't even seem like we were ever gonna get it. And Ela would have 20 names for it by now, but she died.
She did die.
She did.
Uh-huh.
1,000,000,000%, yes.
Yes.
Died so much that I can't get her back dead.
You can get her back. You just have to kill death.
Yeah, I have to kill death.
And then
Makes
you'd
sense.
have to probably wish her back, or you could possibly pull it to resurrection.
We'll just pencil in killing death for next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Does that work?
We'll get there.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Well, let's see, it took us 4 months to get a rock in space. So,
So maybe here in like 10 years we'll get these horsemen wrangled back in. Solid decade. Hey, eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize. Whatever that is.
Yeah. So,
we have a good lead on the fire node. We have a way there. We have capable hands thus far. We have a diplomat with a cubic gate who can start maybe working on building up somewhat of a small population on this place while we go and do what Gorak does best. I see why. I fail to see why pursuing the fire plane would be not the direction to go at this point. I don't think it gets much closer to one of these sparks than that.
yes.
Whatever the trial is, I'm sure we will find out, but maybe the trial is just getting there. That's probably wishful thinking.
And then again, you have a slight indication of something with Melora, a slight indication of something with Lolth, and a slight indication of something with There's Dune. Lolth is lost somewhere in one of the 7 vaults. If you want to try to elaborate a little bit more on There's Dune or Melora, you could. Melora, of course, is the goddess of the wilderness and the sea. There's Dune is the god of madness.
Sounds about right.
Did you want to see if you find any more on those? You can give me a arcana on either of those to try to delve deeper.
Just normal.
Hmm?
Just normal.
With advantage. There's plenty of people here helping. 22.
Double 17.
For Melora or for There's Doom?
Just give him a lore.
Melora. I don't know. Melora's is potentially the information they're getting. It could potentially be tied to the material plane and the elemental plane of water. Somewhere where the planes come together, accessible from the elemental plane of water or from the material plane. That's all you can really get from that one. But there is a location where the two planes overlap that would have that.
And
We have access to the material plane. If we could ascertain which body of water, we could search the water. Do you all have the capability to breathe underwater?
yes. Yes, I do. And I can make sure everybody else can too.
Yeah, don't do that.
Same.
Oh, we were talking about how everybody else needs to breathe underwater, and this fool can't breathe underwater.
No, it's not that I can't breathe underwater. It's that I don't breathe.
I just don't breathe.
Oh, okay.
It's not
All
something
right.
I do.
A waste of time.
It's,
Oh, because it's inefficient. Oh, that's
everything else in there has other things to
why.
do.
No, it's not for any other reasons. Pure efficiency.
Do you want to give me one for There's Doom?
Uh, 24. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, 24.
24. The Sparkforged artifact of There's Doom is thought to be somewhere in the Far Realm.
Great.
And in the writings that you find, they're going to attempt an experiment to reach into the Far Realm and see what kind of information they can gain and if they can gain access to where this thing is. And then the writing just stops.
It's promising. It's good. It's good. Good to know.
You're actually noticing it's one of the most recent things written in all these archives. That might have been what they were doing when, for some reason, they stopped writing.
Oops. Golrak chopped one of their heads off. I don't
Could happen.
I mean, these writings are all decades old, but there's Dune. There are ideas on how to reach out and try to contact the Far Realm in these books as well, if that's something you want to do as well. But that's the information you have now. You literally have the way to teleport to this vault to find, or to the pocket node to find Surtur's forge. Melora, kind of vague. You could play around with that. Lolth is in one of the 7 vaults. There's Doom is in the Far Realm. So you guys can figure out that. I'm gonna just rest real quick.
Yeah, I just got a sword that wants to chop up dragons, so it is in the mindset of trying to convince us to go to the Fire Realm and find some evil dragons to kill.
There could be Dragons of fire.
Evil ones. That's all Snickersnack cares about is murking evil dragons.
Red dragons, lava dragons, ruby dragons. I mean, something.
Well, in a world with this world filled with evil, I don't imagine there'll be any shortage of ability for us to find some evil dragons or however it ends up working out.
A little bit of something everywhere, I suppose.
I don't imagine there's a whole lot of good dragons left around anymore, or just good in general.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty, just not on the 3 planes that we've already mentioned.
So yeah, my vote for at least for right now would be going to the fire plane, but there's no particular rush.
I can't imagine we will find anybody on other planes of existence that will want to assist us in our endeavors. Therefore, I'm of the same mind.
I don't think we don't know anybody. I'm not really, and just for me, I don't like. I'm not the kind of guy that just asks strangers. Maybe or maybe I am. I don't know.
I haven't met too many people like you. So
I'd ask strangers.
I did. And you did, technically. It is a method that works, but it takes time. Which, I mean, we have plenty of, but if we can travel to and from this node, we have a fork. Do we need to make a fork for this base? We need a way back here. Yes. What will that take?
That is thought. That's something that I did not. I didn't think about that.
Always could always, could just reach out to you and be like, hey, did you need us to open a gate? Well, you can't do it with the portal though.
Right, because we'd be on the fire plane. If we got to the fire plane, could we get to either the Fey realm, the Shadow Fell, or the Material plane? Or Elysium?
If you took the cubic gate,
Right, and then we could get gated out.
but they'd have to leave the cubic gate here, so they wouldn't be able to pull you in it. So you'd have to find a way to get there. Jesse, you still have the Well of Many Worlds, yeah?
I believe.
I mean, you could eventually find your way to one of those planes.
Because that has different stuff on it than the cable ramp. That's what I thought. It's got different stuff in now.
Alex, give me a give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check? Ability check?
Or you can give me like a caster check. Basically,
I mean,
same thing.
same diff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not using a skill. Just a check. Yeah, you're right. That's a 25. Since I roll a 19.
So, for plane shift, you and 8 willing creatures can link hands in a circle and be transported to a different plane of existence. You can specify a target destination in general terms. such as the city of brass on the elemental plane of fire, or a place of or the place of despair on the second layer of hell, palace. If you're trying to reach the city of brass, for example, you might arrive in a street of steel before the gates of ashes, or looking into the city from across a sea of fire at the GM's discretion. Alternatively, if you know a sigil sequence for a teleportation circle to another plane of existence, you can take that circle. So, I mean, if you could potentially get back here by just knowing what it is. There's just no definite guarantee. Outside of a teleportation circle, which you do know Laura Quinn is working on forming one. If it'll work or not, you're not sure.
I could always fabricate a tuning fork for this. More about the tuning fork for the I might be able to set it. Maybe I can fabricate another one.
I think it just has to be of something from here. Sort of seeming like what it might be. I don't know what magics it would require, if any, to be put into it.
With the Amulet of the Plains, so you're pretty much just, while wearing this amulet, you can use an action to name a location that you are familiar with on another plane of existence, and then make an intelligence check. On a successful check, you plane shift. On a failure, you and each creature and object within 15 feet travel to a random destination. So you don't actually need a fork for that, but the ritual said that you need one. If you're using the Amulet of Planes, you didn't even actually need that, but
I mean, if you have an Amulet of the Plains, I can significantly increase your ability and chances to use it. We could travel with that.
if that's what you guys want to do.
I can embolden us and enhance your abilities. Would you be doing this with the amulet? Is that what you would use? You wouldn't be casting this spell, it would be with this item. No.
Thank you.
I mean, yes, and we can still support and stack our chances well. Is this what we are doing?
Seems to be the case. I don't have a better suggestion of how to proceed.
So we should maybe try to fabricate a tuning fork out of maybe stone from this base. Or does it have to be pricier? Does anybody know?
So I was going to do an identify on that tuning fork and see what I can come up with.
Could you appraise it? Maybe ascertain its gold value?
Try to do that too.
You will give me an investigation.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Investigation.
I'll aid you. I'm trained in investigation.
D4.
Give you advantage. And then, yeah, but I'll embolden you too.
D6.
It's a D4.
D4. It's an 8. Oh, 8 is advantage.
Yeah.
What was I doing?
Investigation.
Of course. Fucking.
With a natty 20?
No.
Is that a 20?
90, 12.
Oh, it's a 12.
90-12, still close to 20.
Yeah.
Was I staring at the 20? I was.
22.
22. So you're thinking this thing is worth about 250 gold pieces. It's a forked metal rod, so it has to be a metal rod, worth about 250 gold pieces, and then it has to be attuned to a particular plane of existence.
If we can find a metal that has been on this rock, I would say that is probably considerably...
I don't think that even makes it into tokens. It's just metal,
Just to the astral sea.
basically.
250 gold pieces worth of it.
And we're familiar with this place.
Can you fabricate it pretty? Isn't that what increases its value?
I suppose so.
It's also the quality of craftsmanship. It's crafted very, very well so that it attunes properly to the vibrations of the plane of existence.
Am I that good?
That was the reason for What proficiencies do you have as far as specialization with crafting? So, with fabricate, if you have proficiencies with a tool,
These tools.
you can do some. So yeah, I mean you could
You could fabricate
fabricate
metal
like
thieves' tools.
locks, probably. I would say things along the lines of
I
that.
would argue that a tuning fork is akin to a key,
Yes.
and it's a key to a plane of existence.
I would say that you could get the shape and everything, but understanding the way that it vibrates and things like that, you're gonna probably need some sort of crafting or proficiency in instruments and such. But you don't necessarily need it to get back to here. Lorquin can reach out to you once a day and ask where you're at and if you need a ride home. And if you're in one of the 6 realms, she can bring you home.
So, once we get there, we will have to try to plane shift into one of the other planes of existence, one of the other 6.
Well, for those of you not bothered by the pesky thing called death, I suppose that this villager is fine. But I have pretty much a gleaming beacon of fucking hatred wherever the fuck I go.
I think that death is just a very real issue just about anywhere. They might try to keep it confined to a few places, but I don't see anyone else trying to hunt for divine sparks, and maybe there are, but
Won't find out till we get there.
Yeah.
let's see.
Because ain't nobody looking for him here. I mean, we don't got any around here.
Yeah.
Last I checked.
I'd say we'll do our best to make sure you don't end up unconscious, spewing out whatever it is. You seem to be pretty adept at that yourself, though.
Brother.
I wouldn't be too concerned about the denizens of the elemental plane of fire. I think they can handle themselves enough to worry about the things they typically worry about, rather than death.
Amen.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Sounds like a party.
Shall we enjoy the rest of our night and leave tomorrow?
Sounds good as plans, any. And I can't really see us the benefit of wasting any more time necessarily. If we have the means to do something now, I think we probably should take that opportunity.
Well spoken.
Yeah. Quiz and Gorak can give me a an intelligence or a wisdom check, just baseline.
14.
So what's that?
Just whichever is higher, your intelligence score or your wisdom score, whatever the modifier is. So whichever one's better. It should be your intelligence plus 4, I think. Yeah.
I got a +1 and a +1. that one's an easy one.
18.
18, 14.
Keep getting so close.
They're thinking on what they were saying. There were 7 vaults that Ela was interested in looking into on the in the astral sea. And something you would know. You wouldn't quite know that, Gorak, but you'd remember that there were 7 vaults she was looking into. It could also be an option as well. If you remember what those are.
Remember, because that's literally where we sent one of our ships.
And there's that too. If you guys want to, if anybody wants to look over it. You literally did send one of your ships to one of the vaults. It was just hanging out at the vault.
The Wisher's Vault. We sent,
Is it? Isn't the engineer's name?
no, we sent the masked, or the faceless, with our tattooer.
Yeah, those weird fucking guys.
Yeah.
But, who knows? I mean, they're somewhere. Not here.
Back when we had a fleet. Yeah. If we have all the time in the world, we could go up onto one of those ships and we can go and see what's in these vaults. Do we think that we would like to traverse the astral sea or go to the elemental plane of fire?
My boat's fire.
I mean, there is a good point to this. The threats in the astral sea, I am not so worried about. Personally, I can travel in the void. Albeit, my senses, of course, are significantly dimmed like the rest of you, and who knows how long we will be adrift. But the Astral Sea has been my home for longer than I can remember, so I have no problem jumping on a nautiloid and going wherever it is your hearts take you. But I've been known to be ambitious, and we have a one-way ticket to at least scope out what may be a potential trial for these sparks are, or at least whatever guards one of these, we could gauge our strength and pull back if necessary. So. I feel like we were all on board, but if you're bringing up the vaults could have other artifacts, albeit not necessarily spark-forged ones.
I'm just here for the ride, guys. So if we're gonna go to some bolts, cool. If we're gonna go try to beat up some fire giants and steal a forge, which I don't know how we're gonna do it because the forge is pretty big, and I don't think I don't think we can carry that out of there. So I don't know how we're gonna do that. But we could do that or the other one. That's fine.
And you might have the potential to use this, but is it going to be one that's going to be beneficial to you? Is it something that like corresponds to what you guys do as well?
Well, it's kind of been my concern about any of them. But
What is it? Well,
I mean, just from a thinking standpoint, what's the first thing you think of when you're fighting death?
Not dying.
Good. What next? Literally, when you are fighting death or undeath.
Life, radiance.
Right, radiance. Or fire. Many undead are susceptible to fire.
I've also seen like skeletons, zombies that were on fire.
Yes, but that's...
People tried to use fire to like put them out, and they just kind of burned and kept fighting.
That's like,
And
this
then-
didn't work. This did not work out how we thought it was going to work out.
Flaming skeletons.
I've also seen
Heads.
skeletons that are made of ice. I mean, it depends on the necromancer you fight. All I'm saying is specific kinds of undead are weak to specific things, including but not limited to fire, radiance.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go and get a poisonous dagger and try and go and fight death. That sounds really good.
I like poison. Poison's always a good idea.
Does that make my point at least somewhat understandable?
I mean, if it's like god poison,
See, got poison. This guy's got it.
it's fine.
This guy's got the right
So
idea.
God fire won't do it, but God poison will.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Naturally.
Yeah, I remember that I originally said I voted for fire, but I mean, you guys seem to be a weird argument right now.
I'm just saying, like, I thought that we had decided fire, and then we're in this weird in
Woo!
between.
Fireworks.
You fire. Fire.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, fire's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going. I'm not talented and skilled in a lot of this. You guys pulled me in to handle this place. I feel like I've done what it is. Like I said, if you're going something I can help with, I mean, I would, but I feel like I'm just gonna get tossed around.
I suppose you could do that.
Come on, that's most of the fun.
Unless I don't know what we find, I guess we'll just have to keep that for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds right. I remember a brief conversation that he did the same thing, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I kept everything you guys needed. It's nice. Just depends.
Not interested in most trinkets anyway. You all can divide them amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Could give you one thing that I found that might be helpful in your travels going to a place like that. I found 2 of them. You kept one for myself. But there's a staff that creates a portal from one location. You can see to another location within 1,500 feet. So, I mean, you could always set it up as a way to come and go from places, if that's what you want to do.
Have a quick in and out. Sounds nice.
I don't know who wants, and they'll pull out a little staff.
Have to attune to it.
My hands are usually very full.
I'll take it.
You also have scatter, so it's not a bad idea.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
So having that and then
Oh, yeah, yeah.
being able to throw into that. I will collection campaigns. I'll add it to your character sheet, and then you can play around with it.
What is it called?
I'm adding it right now. Inventory. Throwing it in your bag of holding right now.
What's it called?
If you refresh, you will see that it's on there. I can tell you specifically, for me at least, I'm interested in the Raven Queen. That artifact is something that kind of aligns with what I do. I don't know if there's any ones that specifically align to what you guys do. That's all I was saying. I mean, get the fire one, it's awesome. But
My god seems to think that there is one within our reach that is in alignment with myself, but it will be some time before I could use it.
yeah,
As I'm sure most of these things. But again, we're scouting. If we happen to chance upon it and are able to undertake the trial, good for us, but otherwise I think scope it out. We have the ability. And we don't have to be all in, especially with this staff, we can in and out. You know, we don't have to fully commit.
like Zahir. Zahir would have god poison.
I mean, yeah, it would make sense.
Like, I feel like if it's a here bit death would probably be a little poisoned. Maybe a little bit. Like, probably like a burning.
It's hard to know, considering he calls himself Death. What would really affect him, which was mine. The whole point of getting the spark for shock effects is hopefully they will affect him, but
But you never know. I mean, they killed Ion, so.
yes, but that was all three of them. I mean, hopefully if you can get one of them,
No, like 4 of them on Ion.
4 of them, right? But one of them alone.
That was like all 11 of them.
I mean, I'm sure several of them were just like talking about what they would rather do rather than doing it.
Sounds
Even
like
herself,
God stuff.
probably just yeah. Probably.
Did you guys need me to do anything else while I'm here? If not, I can go and start trying to like run down some leads in the material plane. Hop around a little bit. Point some stuff out.
You know my goals for this place. I would like for it to be a sanctuary where people can come, in theory, without bringing them here to die. As much as we can help those that need it and have a fighting chance, I think that we should. And I think that you are a decent judge of who those people might be, if you feel so inclined.
Yeah. Not bad. Got like a rudimentary understanding. For the most part, I don't like anybody. I don't want to invite anybody, but I can find some information.
Depending on the gemstones or anything like that that Laura Quinn has, it's quite possible to even bring back some of the gunman's friends whom we have felled. It's options. They were used as pawns, and unfortunately we had to take them out. But if they're salvageable, they could be assets.
We can go there and start trying to resurrect some of them.
Trail zombies.
If some of them are back as undead, I could awaken them and they could have their minds back. It's whatever we want to do.
Yeah. Waking undead. It's kind of a common thing. Come across. Well, I'm gonna, I guess, then start back to the material plane. See what I can find. Laura can reach out to me every day. Around the same time, I'll let her know what I found, if I found anything. And you guys can go off and have your little campfire escapade.
Indeed.
I don't know if you guys want to do anything before you go to like the elemental plane of fire. I would like maybe like look into like fire protection, baseline stuff.
Oh yes, do you have anything for sale in lieu of that?
That's why I'm not going.
Great. Do you have anything for sale for fire protection?
Oh, I'll be using it.
Because I could give you... Alright. Fire doesn't bother me. And I have no money. Did you all need to do some shopping?
What the fuck you think I'd be shopping?
There ain't no shops to be had.
I don't know, I felt rude not asking since Glenson brought it up.
But you guys like literally just brought like a fucking merchant.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Literally
I thought that was still in
just
progress.
brought him in. Guy who like Laura
He's the
Quinn
one that
said
gave
was
us
like a
the
merchant.
Oh shit.
And he might know something or someone that you could reach out. I just,
No, I would definitely be interested in some kind of something because I don't have any fire protection available through my skills.
Do you think a handful of javelins could get you an artifact that would protect you from fire?
you can get potions and shit.
I still have some money.
5 javelins is my best offer. That's a lie. I could also throw in a longbow.
You should,
Well, then in that
I would
case,
offer you this potion of healing for those.
You would?
No, because it's a potion of poison. But if anybody ever tries to steal something from me, I keep them right on the outside. It looks like a potion of healing.
that's. I don't think you're supposed to do that. That's not cool.
Yeah, don't take shit from me. Start
Again,
drinking it.
that's also not cool. But still, I don't think that you solve that with. You can't. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Mhm. I was really glad he never
Right?
got down or anything, because you'd be like, oh yeah, on his belt in his
Drink a
open
potion.
pouch there are 2 potions of healing. Here you go.
what do you mean he's
Cool.
dead?
What?
Those are the naughty ones.
Mhm.
Again, fire doesn't bother me much. It does, but it's...
You got fire resistance?
I can...
Quiz?
Fire resistance.
Yeah, so quiz is fire resistance.
Could give you fire resistance. Or I could give you fire resistance. It's whatever you want.
Tackle the little boy. So he's got anything?
He'll let you know, like, I don't really have much on me at all right now. I'm more of a purveyor. I get things from one person and get them to the next, so people don't have to interact with each other. I don't have like a plethora of things upon me right now.
No worries.
This thing is
We'll figure-
next time.
we'll figure it out.
If you tell me what you want, I can tell you if I have the capability of getting it and what it would take for me. But I would need to know what it is you're trying to procure.
I don't know what I'm trying to procure.
The world and everything in it.
I would just need a lot of coins.
I had a lot of coins once. Trying to get back there, man. Trying to get back.
Just a couple of potions of fire resistance, I guess.
He does have 1 potion of acid, 1 potion of cold, and 1 potion of fire available on him currently.
Take the one of fire.
Absolutely. Give you fire resistance for an hour. What are you willing to trade me for this?
I don't know what potions do. I couldn't list.
It's not like there's just an open market these days. It's more of a make an offer and tell you if I find it to be suitable.
50 gold.
50 gold.
3 bottle caps and a candle.
50 gold could get you like a super basic healing potion. And even that's kind of stretching it these days.
3 bottle caps and a candle, my final offer.
200.
You say 300,
800.
100, and that's a bit low.
Could give you a suit of chainmail and a long sword with it. It's about another 90 gold in value.
It's also weight.
That's very true.
Like gemstones are easy to carry and trade with.
I don't even know what I have anymore.
Did you keep any of your gemstones on you?
Well, what are they? They're what, 1 pound?
A potion?
No, the stones.
Gemstones?
Yeah. No.
Not they're like a pound each. No, most of them are about an ounce.
Okay. So yeah, you'd have a lot in a bag.
Yeah, you'd have a good amount of gemstones. Just kind of depends on you'd have at least one bag of holding full of gemstones. You guys just don't have a vault full of them. You don't have billions of gold worth of gemstones, but you still have probably hundreds of thousands of gold worth of gemstones on you.
Probably even a few million.
Over the
Yeah,
value.
Just not hundreds of millions.
It really kind of depends on which ones you liked the most. And you would have probably just had a bag of holding full of the ones that you, probably some of the more expensive ones. Those are the values.
Values on this page. But then other stuff to other people has different value. That's just gold piece translation stuff. Other shit has other magical things that people.
A lot of the magical value, or a lot of the gold piece value, is tied to its ability to be used in magics as well.
Okay.
Which is why diamonds are so expensive generally.
Because you use them all the time.
Because diamonds can be used, diamond dust can be used.
Suppose I could offer you a couple of pearls.
Like pearls? Which pearls are we talking?
Right here. $200. 2 pearls for 200.
200 gold piece pearls. Could you do 3?
Sure.
I can trade you for 3 for a potion of fire resistance. Did have that on me because I was planning on potentially going to the elemental plane of fire, but since you're taking my rod anyways, I might as well part with it. And pearls can be used to trade pretty easily for other things. Alright. Well, then he will trade you that, and he will head back to trying to establish a little area. Laura Quinn is working on creating a teleportation circle for you guys as well.
Cute. Very cute.
And Glycerin heads back to the material plane to start looking and searching for more information on any of these spark forged items. You guys want to just head to the elemental plane of fire, to the pocket node?
Yeah, I think so. Check it out. See what's good. What's happening in the node?
So who's going to use the amulet?
It is an ability check, not a saving throw, correct?
What? It is an ability check, but yes.
I can embolden and enhance whoever is doing this.
So who wants to do it?
I guess I will. Since we're-
Norn, are you putting it on? Doesn't it require attunement?
Or it doesn't. Or it does.
I believe it does.
And I can-
What's that?
The amulet.
Oh.
Amulet of the Plains. Would require attunement. So somebody would have to attune to it. You could teleport and you could attune to something else while there, but it would require attunement to be able to teleport or to plane shift you guys.
Yeah, I suppose I could, and then we'll just.
We can take an hour down when we are there.
Yeah.
Try to lay low while we are there. Then I will give you enhance ability. Fox is coming.
For sure, we're not me doing this.
Sounds
That's
like you
me.
are the one who volunteered. And I will embolden you, so you also have a D4.
What is this? This is
And
would you say it's a check?
It's going to be an intelligence check.
intelligence check.
So what's your intelligence modifier?
5.
+5.
And because I'm casting enhance ability, I'll also give myself Fox's coming. So I can target one additional ones.
So is this a D4? Or is it?
2d20 and a d4. So you have advantage and a d4.
Let's see what you roll.
Load of fate ball.
Plus your ability modifier.
So you go through the book that you have, and you draw out this teleportation circle that you're looking to go to. This pocket node on the elemental plane of fire. And after casting it out, you will arrive in this area. The sky above you is red. Clouds appear to be made of smoke, scattered lightly around. Off in the distance, the horizon seems relatively close. And you see just what looks like just walls of fire kind of just raising up off in the distance around you. Before you, you see what looks like a relatively large volcano. But the volcano seems to be carved to look kind of like a castle. Give me a perception.
We all have an extra d4 to it because we're emboldened.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Golly.
29?
16.
21.
39. Yeah, 20. Plus 2 plus 17.
Yes.
Large red dragons fly about the sky.
Holy fuck.
3 of which are actually mounted on this volcanic mountain. 3 of them just kind of about to relatively close to each other, kind of tufts of fire towards each other, seem to be in some way fighting over something. A 3rd one watches from a distance, and in the sky you see a few smaller ones around. The 3 on the mountain seem to be pretty big.
Big.
You said you got a 16. That's what you're seeing. 21, 29. You can tell that the three on the mountain are older. The three on the mountain are very large. They appear to be what you would consider like older adults. The high end markings and stuff like that make them appear to be distinguished. You're noticing that the sky is filled with adult red dragons. 39, said? Yeah. You're thinking 7 adult red dragons flying about and 3 ancient red dragons on this mountain that are fighting on the exterior. You also notice that there are smaller creatures than the dragons, which you believe to be fire giants. That look small compared to these 3 really big dragons that are on the distance. Nothing seems to have noticed you at the moment. But there are some caves towards the bottom that could open up into whatever is happening in this area. But you're going to have to move towards this mountain with the 3 ancient red dragons on it.
Nothing seemingly behind us.
I mean, when you look off to the distance, it's just maybe a couple miles, and this wall of fire that seems to kind of encompass. The wall kind of goes up, and then you're noticing little tufts of smoke kind of go up and go. It almost feels like maybe you're inside of like a large sphere, like this pocket dimension. Actually, you can actually see kind of the edges of it, whatever this area is. It feels open and it looks like it's open, but you notice that it's not completely. There is actually edges to this area. Probably like a quickened pace, you're 30 minutes from the mountain where you're at. Beneath you is a old worn stone slab that has black onyx inlays carved into it. It's like a very well weathered and scorched piece of stone that has a teleportation circle on it.
Are we pretty much just in the open then, or like no shelter or anything? Are we on level ground?
It's relatively level. I mean, it you can tell that there's certain parts where the ground lifts up a little bit, certain parts where it cracks open because the ground itself is becoming volcanic. You see little bits of smoke. Like the most cover that you have is, places where the earth is like split open and little bits of earth and rock kind of fall into what looks like probably lava given the light, and little tufts of smoke are coming out of it. But there's no other buildings other than this huge mountain, which seems to be formed to look like a castle.
Cover the dragons.
Like 3. But you are currently attuned to the amulet, unless you wish to try to find a place and take rest to switch over to something else. I don't know what you unattuned from.
Just took off the talisman that I have. So I completely 100% forgot about it. taken off.
You would have had. I don't know if you could just take off the talisman.
But that's why I didn't touch it. I figured we were just
Yeah.
going with it. I didn't know if that was going to screw anything up. So.
Because you have certain set items.
Yeah,
So
that was my thinking too, because I'm definitely not taking the spear off.
you. I get it. Stop texting me. Phone just wants to vibrate. I just didn't bring my little thing over. It's fine. And it's fine. What do you guys want to do while he reattunes to the items he had taken off? Because you can have 3 at the cost of 2 attunement slots. But you couldn't have less. So you'd have to take off 2 of those to attune to the thing. So you can take off the patron's eye. And you can either take off the armor or the belt. The belt is the one that gives you your familiar, and the armor is the one that gives you your armor. I love the image that I chose for the spear.
Yeah.
Do you recognize what it's from?
Look at it, bro. Can't really see it.
It's kind of hard to see on here as well.
I don't know what it is.
Just barely. Oh. I tried to zoom it in. It's the it's literally just the Lego spear. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I need just a black spear, and I was like looking up like spear of pure blackness is what I looked up, and it was like Lego spear black, and I was just like,
Good.
save image.
That's awesome.
Just in case. Which one do you want to keep on? Your armor, your talisman, or your chain?
I'd like to keep the armor.
Okay. Cool. As you pull the other 2 off, there are dragons flying around the sky, seemingly scouring the land. 2 fighting on the mountain, 1 off to the side. At one point, you'll notice that group of fire giants gets a little bit away from the mountain, and one of the dragons kind of like scoops down and tries to snag one of the stragglers, kind of drag him off. But what do you guys want to do?
We don't happen to still have Mila's locket, do we?
All of her items all broke, and all the contents dumped out when she died.
Where'd you end up?
Dead.
I mean, did you go back to Geb?
No, she became a lich. Her body became a lich, and her soul is with death.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her name is in the Book of Death. She can't be resurrected by any means, not even a wish, until death is killed.
See previous conversation. As we appear here,
Mm-hmm.
I'll cast Aid with a 6th level slot, so as a 7th level spell,
Mm-hmm.
on Quiz, myself, and Golrick. I can only get 3 people.
Again.
Hey, remind me your alignment again? Oh, okay.
Really? His is better than mine.
Oh, yes, it is.
His
Technically-
actually gives you actually get way worse
I'm
vibes for
a
him.
little nervous about this, but I've traveled with him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You're the new guy who is very much evil. So I can only base his character off of what I've seen from him. Still nervous, but also.
I'm sorry. Just sorry,
I mean, I'm playing a paladin of Mishikal, who's like very much a good god. So it's like, I can only get 3 people. Sorry, buddy. I'd get you if I could.
Dang,
Maybe. Which isn't a lie. Like, that's true. But I'm definitely making the choice to help the 3 of us. Plus, you do the far away, like, pew pew pews, and we
Oh, yeah,
tend to
that's-
be like in the
I
shit.
know that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's smart enough.
So you cast a spell.
Yes.
And what else are you guys doing? You're pretty much on an open slab. The slab shows signs of having been attacked by fire. Possibly something flew over it and cast a breath weapon at it.
Suppose I should drink that potion.
Well, once you drink it,
Lasts.
it lasts an hour and then it's gone. So I would drink it when you think you're going to need it.
We should lay low. Maybe try and chameleon ourselves to the environment. I'm in golden armor.
I don't know what could do.
I have no forms of stealth. I tend to just ignore it.
Part of me's thinking this might not be such a great idea, and I'm wondering if we should go while I'm still attuned to this thing.
Well, we see what is here.
You can cast Tiny Hut. Take 10 minutes to cast. Then you'll have a tiny hut.
Which nothing can get in or out of for 8 hours.
The ground is all light brown and blacks. If you're not right on top of this stone, you can move to the side, cast the spell, and try to hide. And try to reattune. You are still attuned to the Amulet of the Plains if you want to consider
Go somewhere else.
what's going on. Just depends on what you want to do.
Personally, I think we're gonna get fucked if these are ancient dragons.
I mean,
If they attack us, we're straight fucked. We're
3
done.
of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably agree with you.
Then I should say we should back out, maybe.
Have you guys seen what you have?
Hmm?
Have you seen what you have?
Yeah, I see that I have 123 hit points and half of a normal fucking dragon's breath weapon, much less an ancient one's, still does a chunk of fucking damage. So, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Adult.
3 ancient dragons that go, says goodbye to a party of 15th level
Adult
people. 16th
red
level people.
dragon fire breath is 18d6. Ancient
I mean,
is 26d6.
I'm literally going off of what I know from when we were like level 12 fighting an adult red dragon, which was, yeah, like, get fucked. My sorcerer, who had something like 80 hit points at the time, almost got one shot. So, like, you know.
Yeah,
And we all had fire resistance. Like,
I think we should back out of here for now, then.
yeah. we
DC
shouldn't.
24 deck save versus like about 91 fire damage, so you're looking like 45 with resist.
If you save, yeah. A DC 24 for me, yeah. I have to roll an 18.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. We're out.
You have everybody can save it. Every single person here can make
Oh,
it
no.
because he gives you +6. And
I can give you 2d4
Mhm.
and +6 to your guys' saves, but then I have 6 plus 2d4. So, I mean, a DC 24 is fucking tough. It is tough.
Chances are.
Give me a
so
perception.
if I fail to save and I take 90 points of damage, I have 40 hit points left. Guess what? Even if I save the next one, down.
That's not enough.
And there's 3 of them.
Give me a perception,
Like,
everybody. Still have your D4.
yeah, it lasts 10 minutes.
That's better.
32?
Does anybody speak Draconic?
Yes.
I can comprehend it.
I speak it.
25.
Neither of you speak Draconic.
No. I do not specifically, but
Perception?
Perception.
27.
It's 25.
34. One lower.
What'd you
than
get
I
on
could
yours?
possibly
I
roll.
got 32.
So you guys will all notice, so like the 3 dragons on the mountain, as you guys kind of move to the side and are discussing what you want to do. The 3 dragons, the third one kind of moves in a little bit, and it's kind of, they're kind of just like doing little bursts of fire at each other. Doesn't seem like it's affecting each other, but they're just kind of fighting over something. And then the ground itself seems to just rumble just a little bit as you hear a large roar kind of come out. 2 of you guys will comprehend
I figure that
that it's this quiet and draconic roars out louder than anything, and you watch the 3 ancient dragons all kind of cower down, look around, and back off and kind of move to their different areas.
the fuck.
There's something bigger than that.
Yeah.
When that happens, you'll notice a couple of the couple of the fire giants
Fire giant dwarfs.
going to start to move out, and there's small patrols that are kind of moving around. They're moving in larger groups, and they're still kind of looking to the skies, but they'll kind of start to patrol around the edge of the mountain.
Well, there is something here that makes ancient red dragons afraid.
Oh, motherfucker.
This is way out of our league.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we go to what? Elysium, the material plane? You could even take us to the astral sea, but I've heard that that's not necessarily the wisest call if you're plane shifting.
Yeah, I think we should just.
Gorek could one round an ancient red dragon. You'd have to roll really well, though.
If you drop a 20?
No, it has
That's
legendary
too big.
actions.
No, so you can't cut us out.
Couldn't just cut its head off, but he could
But you
literally
could crit it,
he
which
could
does a
crit it
fuckload of
if
damage.
he threw 3 crits on it. 100% would not survive 3 crits. And that's just him.
Have
That
you
doesn't matter.
rolled 3 crits in a row?
I have rolled 2, but I've never done 3.
I'm just saying.
It's good to know. Good to be saying.
These things do damage that I can't avoid.
Same.
So that
even
pretty much makes me nothing.
yeah, even with the rage, even with the different kinds of rage, I don't have any fire saving stuff.
Don't you have a?
Nope. The
I can
storm.
give you
The,
fire resistance.
the storm. None of the storm rages give me.
You
fire
have one that
resistance.
gives you resistance to everything except for psychic.
That's what I thought too, but I can't find the specifics of it. I want to read back through it again and figure out which one that it is.
It should be the one with the. Yeah, there should be one that literally gives you resistance to everything except for, and even the storm one. If you did the storm desert, I think gives you fire resistance.
No, that was my first instinct, and it doesn't.
Does it?
It gives me like radiant fire damage, but it doesn't give me any resistance to fire.
Oh, with the minor rage, because the resistance is the passive that you actually get, and that's where you get your lightning resistance.
Mm-hmm. Because that
So,
one's-
but the rage doesn't get the passives from the it just gets the active rage
yeah.
things. But yeah. But yeah. So are you guys going to go somewhere, or what are we thinking?
I think we should just head back and formulate on the plan.
This entire place can see just about this entire place. So, yeah, I think that's wise. We know what is here. Have an idea of how to get at least to the volcano. Seems like that's maybe the location.
You could probably get there pretty. I mean, with a little bit of, if you had some way of stealthing the group a little bit, you could get pretty far in.
Well, there's no cover really, right? I mean, it's just like the plumes of smoke occasionally from pools of lava.
There's like lots of smoke and stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of cover, but it's the ground breaks and moves around. I mean, you could get there. You'd have enough to attempt a stealth, but you'd need something
Pass
to kind of
without
help with
trace
that.
or something.
He can do it.
I think passing that trace, you can cast on multiple.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it counts on a group.
You cast it
But we
and
have
it
to
covers
stay
an
near each
area.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not hiding you. That's hiding the fact that you were where you were.
It gives
No,
you
it's just
it gives
does
you
it.
just a flat bonus,
Yeah.
10 plus 10 to stealth.
That's right.
'Cause you guys could get to the place, and then you do that.
But then
Um,
we never told the dragons to shut up.
Yeah. Could be an even larger dragon.
That was my first thought. It's like another larger dragon. Oh god.
It's larger than an ancient red. I don't want to know.
Get these idiots running around here.
Instead of colossal, they call it daddy size.
Who's your daddy?
If you triggered the 3 legendaries, Norin could absolutely one-shot an ancient red dragon if it didn't have its legendary resistances.
If it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, if you just did anything else to trigger those.
I don't think it could fail any of my saving throws.
I mean, it would have to roll a 20 to save off of one of Norin's spells. It would have to roll a 20 to be able to get one of your big ones.
Impressive. But you also have a ridiculous DC.
Roll a 15. He would be dumb. Granted, he has 3 legendary resistances, but still. Those are easy enough to trigger. You do things like, freaking throw your baseline, throw like, you can throw like banishments and things like that. Trigger it out. But, anyways, neither here nor there. So you guys want to go back?
Well, we could try and see if we can get the attention of maybe a few of these things and see how we fare, but I think we already know the outcome.
I agree. We should just head back.
That just doesn't look good.
Call this a fact-finding mission is a win.
Yeah.
Teleport back to your void base. You still got a D4 in advantage. Has not been long enough yet. Nothing has seen you.
11.
You rolled an 11. You have a +5, so that's a 16.
Yeah.
You're fine. It's a DC 15.
Oh, yeah.
You're looking for 10 on the dice, so
Add your modifier.
yeah.
Rolled a 7 out of 2.
Yeah.
Well, but you also rolled a 4,
Oh, yeah, good
7 and a
modifier.
4, so it gives you 11. So yeah, you
Very good.
you teleport back. You show up in the barracks where Laura Quinn has a teleportation circle all etched out and drawn through. She's casting teleportation circle on it every single day where they've actually gone through and they've like carved out on a piece of stone what will be the permanent teleportation circle. She's just magically enchanting it to make sure it stays. It's just going to take
Our day.
a little while. She goes, "Oh, I'm back so soon?"
Yeah, lots of dragons. Old dragons.
Very, very big. And then a lot at the same time.
And then something that they're afraid of further. So it's probably smarter that we gather some facts elsewhere, as we discussed. But if we want a fire Spark forged artifact.
If we want a fiery death, we know where to find
We know where we can go to attempt to acquire one of those.
Yep. Well, I haven't actually found anything because you guys have only been gone for about 5 minutes.
Yes. Yes. So
It's all it took, really.
maybe the next option is taking a Nautiloid to the vault for a poisonous dagger.
Wait, there's a poisonous dagger?
God poison.
In theory, yes. Something of worth
Oh,
in a vault.
could be a poisonous dagger. Could be a staff. What if it's a lance? Oh, it'd be nice to get one of those lances.
Could be like a death lance. That would be. Maybe death doesn't like having its vitality permanently removed. I would hope.
Yeah.
What if it's just a blanket? Just like a really nice, like
Spider silk blanket?
10,000 thread count.
So why
Spiders
is it
are
gotta be
soft.
spider silk, man?
That sounds really comfortable.
Could be a blanket.
I like blankets.
Do you want to give me an investigation? You don't have advantage anymore unless somebody else is going to do something to give you advantage. Well, yeah, by the time you get there, it wouldn't necessarily be there.
Enhance it.
Enhance ability.
D4.
Give me an investigation with advantage. Do you give him a d4?
Yeah, I'll embolden us again.
Oh.
Do 3 more times today.
37.
Oh, damn.
Searching to try to figure out what this item is, you're not finding anything about a blanket.
Oh, come on, man.
It's worth a shot.
Sure.
Um,
It'd be really nice if it was a blanket.
One person refers to it as the many limbs of Lolth.
That sounds like it could be a blanket.
Another person
It
refers to
wraps
it
you up like a blanket
as
would.
the many
all the arms.
strikes. Yeah. So one refers to it as the many limbs. One refers to it as the many strikes of Lolth.
Gives you 4 more arms. That'd be fucking sick.
For
There's another
hunting.
thing too where it talks about
Like a blanket.
most of the people who tried to try or who attempted the trial end up basically rotting from the inside with necrotic poison that courses through them.
Gross.
That sounds lovely.
But yeah, the many limbs. I mean, no, that's what you need. More arms.
Yep.
Norrin,
Yeah.
2 more arms.
Oh, yeah.
Extra
Give
arms.
Quiz some more arms so we can stab some shit some more.
Yeah.
Is that what? Is that
Laughing
how
from
that
the
works?
inside out. That sounds like my way to go.
Yeah.
Quiz 8 more arms and 2 more Vandaliers and fuck yeah, let's go. Bring in Shadow Daggers. Let's go.
But that's in one of the vaults. You could attempt to go to one of the vaults. You don't know which one it would be in. The ones that you know is that there are.
Just a Titan vault and a Wisher vault.
Well, there's the Halls of Beauty, Grasping Hands, Rage Space, Halls of Glory, Wisher's Vault, Drift Space, and the Eternal Feast.
There's some down there. This is Titan vault.
Here's the Titan Vault as well. That's not what, that wasn't one of the 7 vaults. From what you're, the
It just
Context.
vaults on the side, I guess.
yeah. There's the Wisher's Vault and the Titan Vault. You could go to the Titan Vault and see what you could find. That is originally used to be a vault run by Titans who long ago fell. So, I mean, you might be able to find something there. Who knows what would be there. Could possibly find information as well.
Ready to.
Some titans, just teen titans.
I mean, we could wait until tomorrow and I could commune with my god again and ask, is this item in this vault? Is this item in this vault? Is this item in this vault? No. Wait till the day after that and then ask again. So, if we're really trying to play the slow game here, we can. Which, there's no reason not to.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a better bet because our confidence was very quickly stifled.
We learned something.
Oh yeah. Rather reel the confidence in a little bit than have it bitten off by a dragon.
I mean, an ancient red dragon, maybe we could all do. But 3 of them, and then whatever they're afraid of. And their little flying around fun boys as well. That's not. Thank you.
There's only 10 dragons that you saw.
That we saw.
Yeah, we saw.
I mean, we could pretty much see a lot of things, but
You did hear something else roar out in Draconic,
yes.
enough to shake the plane.
It told them to be quiet, and then they were like scared.
Like, oh, we should stop fighting.
Oh, we better shut up.
They stopped talking.
Mom got pissed.
Just like shitty little kittens.
It was impressive, and I can't wait to see whatever it is. But it won't be tomorrow, probably. Beginning to get a feel of why I'm seemingly not prepared to accept one of these items from my god. So, it makes sense.
Things are a little bit clearer now.
We were told that they were going to be difficult to get to and acquire. So,
They're theoretically the 22 most powerful things in existence. You can destroy one of them. If you can find out how to destroy one of them, you can destroy one and release a divine spark, which you can use to turn yourself into a god. So, I mean...
Do we have any idea about where on the difficulty scale the one that we just looked at falls? Or is there any way to find that out?
well, I would say top 22 of the most difficult things
Let's put it around
in
round
the
up.
cosmos.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just trying to try to narrow it down a little bit more. Like,
There is
did
a-
we just try to get the hardest one that we were looking for? Or is it in the middle of the range of the 22? Or is that the easiest of the 22 and we're really fucked?
You know that the Drow archivists found that it was one of the easier to locate.
Okay.
Which is terrifying.
Well, I mean, they literally had this.
It's one of those things. Fort Knox is super easy to find,
Yeah.
but it's well guarded.
You're not getting shit.
There may be, places that are more or
Difficult
easier,
to
that are
find.
more difficult to find
Easier
and
to get
easier to get into. So, I mean, there's that.
I can't imagine any place called a vault is going to be any easier if it has one of these items, but it's always worth looking.
I don't know. I just got this vision of Scrooge McDuck in my head when we're talking about vaults, and I think that would be fun.
My favorite still is just when Peter tries to dive in the coins. Like, oh my god, it's not a liquid. It's many hard substances. And he just shatters.
Just shatters himself.
Yeah, because you can't just dive into coins. It's not really how it works.
But it's a cool visual.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Shall we wait till tomorrow and I try another commune and see if I can ascertain which vault the Dagger of Loth is located at? Or whatever this many limbs of Loth is located at.
It definitely seems like a good idea. And if the Drow think that this the Fire Sparkforge one was one of the easier ones to find, the logic would progress that it's probably one of the harder ones to obtain, being that it's easier to find. So maybe try something that's a little bit more difficult to locate.
Well, as of now, you don't know. I mean, some of them could be being used by someone,
Yeah.
potentially. Maybe not. It's hard to say. But theoretically, if the 22 of them are not being used, that means that nothing that has found them has been able to get them at the moment. So you just have to be better than anything else that is tried. Unless you're going to actually go, unless you find one that is being used by someone, in which case you just need to be better than them to take it from them.
That tracks.
Yeah.
So, tomorrow.
So you guys wait out the rest of the day. Okay. You can mark off a long rest. Yeah, I feel like you don't use the Patron's Eye very often. Could be very helpful.
Could be. Keep forgetting about it too.
Yeah, so because you can put it on whoever, and whenever they fail an ability check, they can add a D4 to push themselves in the success. They can do that 6 times per day. You can teleport to them 6 times per day. If they fail a saving throw, they can add a D4. That can be done 6 times per day. And then when the wearer of the talisman is attacked, you can see, or attacked, or hit by an attacker you can see within 30 feet. You can use your reaction to deal psychic damage to the attacker equal to your proficiency bonus, 6 feet, or 6 damage, and push them 10 feet away. So I mean, you can do that 6 times a day. So that's things you can do. You can always decide who you want to put it on. If you keep it on yourself, which is what you're doing now, you can, if you fail, does it say an ability check?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you attempt to teleport with that eye, or with a thing, and you failed, you can actually, you have to fail, but then you can re-roll or add a D4 to it, potentially succeeding, so that's nice. But if you give it to somebody else, you can teleport to them.
Yeah.
And do things like that too. So, just different options. But that's where you're at the moment. The next day you want to commune.
Yes. Please. Doing another commune. I got it since I got time. Do a commune.
Get 3 questions. Yay or nay.
Where is the
So you have 7 vaults that they're referred to. 2 of them are open space, and 5 of them are dominions of. All of them are going to be dominions, divine dominions, but 2 of them are like open space ones, and 5 of them are like more closed areas. So that's one way of differentiating between, to kind of narrow it down a little bit.
Okay. Anybody have any preferences which ones I ask?
Not in particular.
Is the spark-forged artifact known as the Many Limbs of Lolth located in the Halls of Beauty?
Yes.
That worked out really well.
That's what I was trying to get him to like. I was like, don't just start on one side because it just happens to be on the first one on the map. I was like, that's fine.
It's like, please do not go through it in a methodical way. Just pick a random one.
I mean, it was either that or Ape Space. Or them grasping hands.
It's like, I had 3 queued up, ready to go.
David, did you have a good breakfast this morning?
Are we able to travel there in less than a month aboard a Nautilus ship?
Yeah. Absolutely. Specifically the nautiloid. You were getting a yes feeling in it when you said nautiloid, like it was a absolutely, definitely.
Are you doing well?
It's like, how are you? Are you good? You're
No.
good. You good, right?
Did you ever watch The Tick, the cartoon? Back in the day, they end up in this desert, they're meeting something, and somebody tells them, like, you can only ask him one question, you know, and that's it, that's all you got, and it's like, he's like, hey man, how you doing? All of a sudden this big old thumbs up comes out of this, that's it, that's what you were gonna do.
Finally saw the D&D movie. That shit had me cracked up.
That was hilarious.
Asking all the different courses.
No.
Oh, wait, that was 5? Fuck.
My favorite, you haven't seen it yet, right? So I don't want to go into it. I just think it's funny because you watched the trailer of the Speak with Dad trailer. You saw that, right? Oh, no. Okay. And it's hilarious, but then it's just so much better in the movie.
Yeah.
It's
even
like,
even
I won't
more
go
of a
into it,
fucking thing.
'cause I don't
because
wanna
you're worried
spoil
that
anything.
trailers have such a tendency
too
to just,
much,
like, spoil
yeah.
that kind of spoil those kind of jokes.
It's like,
And it did.
definitely feels in the spirit of D&D for sure. Well, the many limbs of Loth are in the halls of beauty. And a nautiloid ship specifically could get us there in less than a month's worth of travel. Apparently, absolutely could get us there, so if we would like.
That would work, we have a means to get in and a means to get out.
Seems like my calendar's wide open. Sounds like a plan to me.
Well then, we take our pick, I suppose. I am proficient in most space vehicles, so I feel like we have a good shot at getting wherever we need to relatively well.
Pretty sure.
Do you know what's significant about a nautiloid ship?
They can plane shift, right?
Driven one once or twice.
Easy enough.
So yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could hop on this thing and you could plane shift to another plane of existence and then try to plane shift back.
Easy plane shift to the far realm and then just plane shift to the astral sea again.
Or you could plane shift to not the far realm.
Nah, far realm's easy. We know what we're getting into. And if we happen to kill an alien while we're there, then good for us.
As an action, creature attuned to the spelljamming helm and in physical contact with it can, or contact with the ship, can transport the Nautiloid and all creatures aboard to a different plane of existence, at or near a destination envisioned by the spelljammer.
But that's sketchy, because an alloy does not float in normal water, I think, and it doesn't stand up on its own. It doesn't, like if it's on solid ground, it doesn't stand up.
It has a flying speed.
Let's see, it floats. Yeah.
It doesn't. It can't float on. It can't go onto water, but it can fly.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
just
couldn't go on land either.
literally just levitates.
It can't land,
They can't land.
but it's capable of levitating.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was
You
like-
brought it to the material plane, it would just fly around the sky.
Oh, I thought I always had to be like constantly moving. I didn't know it just
No.
could be like staying. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Just
No, that's my bitch ass flying. If I stop moving, I fall.
Mhm. They can't float on water, nor can they land safely on the ground, but they have a fly speed.
So then, Norin, would you be comfortable piloting this?
yeah.
So you would have to attune to the spelljamming helm. And then what plane of existence would you like to go to? The far realm would work well with what it is. Elemental plane of air would be really easy. There are certain planes that are going to be more suited to this ship.
Would you be able to immediately then plane shift afterwards?
30% chance.
Or we just hang out on whatever plane we're on?
Mhm.
Like a day or something.
24 hours.
What's a plane that we would have the least amount of chances of running into something?
Showing up on a nautiloid. I mean, there's not a lot of chance necessarily that it's gonna. The far realm, in theory, you're gonna run into stuff, but it might ignore you because the ship is kind of at home there. But then again, it might sense your presence and be like, "Oh, that's some non-far realming type things."
Also true. It's a nautiloid, so taking it anywhere is difficult.
It's not so.
We can go to the elemental chaos, and then if shit hits the fan, they can gate us out. And, you know, just try and ride out a day.
Yep. Does anybody have sending?
Yes.
So you can just holler and be like, "Hey, pull us out," and then they'll open a gate to you. So long as you don't end up in the direct presence or domain of a deity.
Well, it's not like that's never happened before.
I thought I had something.
You have sending via the book. Somebody has to have their name written in it.
That's
But he has sending just prepared, so he's fine as well.
Always prepared.
Where do you want to go?
So me, I'm just driving.
Do you want them to be able to pull you, or if you wait 3 more days, then they can just straight use the thing to open up a portal and pull your entire ship in?
Oh, that's true. We should just wait, and then we can go through it, and then plane shift. I feel like that's easy enough.
Agreed.
And then we arrive there, and I will be fully prepared.
Oh, you're going to have them open up the portal to somewhere, and then you'll go through and then plane shift back.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Might
that
as
works
well.
as well.
I mean, if all we got to do is wait for 3 days for them to finish, then yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys want to do during these 3 days? Do you want to commune more? You want to ask any more questions?
You can ask more questions about the other artifacts. We don't really have much of other specific ideas for the other ones. I can start trying to pinpoint which planes the Raven Queen's artifact is on. The Dagger of Sehanin. And we know that the one for Thursden is in the Far Realm.
There's doing kind of Elder God vibes, the maddening God. Makes a little sense. It's probably where he hung out a little bit.
We know that Malores is somewhere on or in between the material plane and the plane of water. Could ask more about the one that I could potentially reach. It is probably taking in the ability that I can be amongst people who can plane shift. But, do any of you have any questions?
Negative.
You mentioned old allies. Or do you have old allies?
No, all the allies I have are here. Any thoughts of anybody we might have known as we reached out to and like shoot? The only reason Lorquin is here is because we remembered her from previous interactions. And any attempt we've made to communicate with anybody that we've known before is either fallen on deaf ears because they're protecting themselves or they physically do not exist.
You've tried everyone.
That I can recall, that I can think of. I mean, I'm sure I haven't tried everyone. I'm sure there's somebody that I'm forgetting or something that I don't remember, but to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my recollection, anybody that I can think of I've reached out to yet.
Well, yeah, I can commune. Just start trying to pinpoint maybe where the Spark Forged Raven Queen artifact is. Do that in the next couple days.
You can also, do you want to do anything else on this one you're getting ready to head to? Because you didn't ask much about the Surtur one. And you kind of got there and it's like, you turned away. I don't know if you want to ask any more questions about the Raven, or the Lolth one. Or the domain, or anything about it.
Anything answerable by yes or
I
no's?
know,
Anybody just, I mean, going there and seeing with our own eyes, I feel like is probably
Well,
the best option.
do we have any other, I mean, there's other spells available as well.
Any ideas?
You have spells.
no, lots of spells.
Alright.
Particularly,
Because it's virtue stolen of it over and over and over and over. Then
You have
having nothing.
the same commune he has. You have contact other plane. Get you some stuff.
Can ask if there are anything of the threat level equivalent of 3 ancient red dragons guarding it. And that can just about tell us whether we're wasting our time.
3 ancient red dragons were something's bitches.
Exactly. So, I mean, just drawing our line there and finding out if it even meets it. It feels as though the journey to these things is supposed to prepare us for what is within. So going there and seeing what's there, I think, is just the best option.
You can't see why it wouldn't be, or you can't see a better plan.
I can argue if an outcome will be good or bad, but using my own 2 eyes, I can do that as well.
With that information available, absolutely.
I mean, I pretty much do the same thing you're doing.
You can get 5 questions, and I don't think it actually necessarily does it cost you anything.
No, I just I gotta make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw, or I take 66 psychic damage and I'm insane until I finish long rest.
Well, near me, you start with a +6, and I can help you from there.
This
He
is
has a
me
plus.
we're talking.
What's your? I mean, your intelligence save is a +5, right?
So you start with an 11, and then I can give you 2d4. So
And
as
if
long
you
as you don't
fail,
triple
you can
one-
add a d4 as well.
Well, that's true, and you have
6
your
times per day.
artifact. So in theory, you can't fail it if we really bolster you. Are those real questions, or are they yes or no's?
Yes or no? Yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or unclear.
Magic 8-ball questions.
If a one-word answer would be misleading, you might instead get a short phrase or answer.
It's the same with commune. But a couple more questions.
A couple more questions, a few less incense. Can you grab me a wild cherry?
Walter?
Thank you. Just an option if you thought of anything. Plus, I'm making you have to then say stuff and do things and play the game.
No?
Come on, it's fun.
That way, it's not just Alex doing it all.
Yeah.
It's a way of forcing me to make
You
you put you
trying
on the
to get
spot
other
because it's
people
always
I know,
fun to
yeah,
put you on the
that's
spot.
when I'm the worst, is when I'm on the spot. You ask me,
You're
like,
great when you're not playing or
I
doing
know,
anything.
I know, exactly. That's
I'm
when
just
I'm
fucking with you.
I am, that's fair. That's with anything. I can always come up with better insults 10 minutes after the fact. Can't do it on the spot.
Yeah, well, how do you think you get better at it?
By not being in the situation in the first place.
By giving up.
It's called being an introvert. I'm out.
Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Here, yeah, we're back.
Come on. So you save. So you get 5 questions as you reach out to a creature in another plane of existence and asking them questions about this artifact of Lolth that is on in the Halls of Beauty. You have 5 questions.
Don't do it like D&D. The movie. 5 questions.
Yeah.
Such a wreck.
Is that a question?
Yes.
Damn it!
But
No.
with this one, you can just cast it again. You just have to make your save again.
Yeah.
You guys can always help him if you want to give him ideas for questions.
Is this artifact well guarded? came out of the gate swinging.
Irrelevant.
It's if we can just fucking get there.
Are we in peril if we make an attempt to retrieve it?
Absolutely.
Can we just go in and take it?
Yes.
Two left. You guys got some?
Could we expect to encounter fiends there?
Oh, I have to say.
I can't hear him. You cast the spell.
Can we expect fiends there?
No question.
I'm pretty good at handling those.
It's a cool place.
Anything?
Is it more of a deal with it when you get there kind of guy? Plans and quiz.
Kind of on the same boat. Like, no, like the old saying, like a plan, it's more like guidelines than actual rules. You know?
So it's not guarded. You'd be in peril if you tried to retrieve it, but you could just walk up and try to take it. And there are fiends.
I guess we'll just do this one with, is there anything? See, in my head I can't say it out loud, because I know what I mean, but I have to say it like you don't know, but I know what I mean, because I know
Because language?
that I know that you know don't know that I know what I know that you don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's how language works, yes.
That's usually how it works.
I don't know what words are coming out of your mouth until they come out of your mouth.
Until they're there,
You have
until
to-
it happens.
You have to put them in the order that I will understand what it is you're trying to say. Yes, language.
Quiz has hell of comprehend languages, so just put it out there and see what happens.
Will anything actively try to stop us from taking this artifact?
Maybe.
Perhaps it is. Perhaps
It depends. So, you know that if you try to retrieve it, that something will try to stop you. But if you tried to just go and like take it, you won't be stopped.
Yeah, I guess that's what.
So it just depends on thing. Like to like retrieve it, to like bring it with you, but to interact with it maybe might be something that they
That's what
allow.
I was trying to see now, but I thought of it afterward, like actually going to retrieve it is would something be trying to stop us from doing
You can ask more questions.
that. So like a monthly thing.
Does that
You
make
just,
sense?
you just have to. Yeah, you just have to. you just have
Takes
to get
another
the
10
save.
minutes.
I will bless you and embolden you.
So you get 2d4 plus
Six.
your d20.
Plus 6. Because it's a saving.
So So you're at 11 D20 and 2D4, and then you can add a D4 if you fail.
All that plus a backup.
There's only one D20, but that's fine. If you're looking for a 15, you start at an 11 before you roll.
So,
Should get a total of 4 on the 2D4 plus D20. Is it 4 or higher?
yeah, 18, but
Yeah, so you're good.
I was just trying to do the count in my head because
Okay.
I thought the higher the better. But it's just about making it right.
So 18 is what you rolled
Yeah.
total. So 18 with the D4s and all that?
18.
On the
It's just
D20.
18 on the
Oh my
D20. What are the
God.
2 D4s?
2 and 1, so that's 30. So it's
21.
So 21, so
32.
32. Yeah, so 32. So you made it twice over, so you're good.
Yeah.
What questions do you want to ask? 5 questions.
Gentlemen, I apologize, but 3:30 comes really early in the morning.
Oh yeah, we're gonna call it after these 5 questions. Either way.
You got one, John? I was gonna say.
No,
I
I
got
got
If you gotta split it, go.
I gotta get it.
I'll sit here and try and figure it out. Because there might be a fair amount.
Oh yeah.
Well, because you have the one queued up to redo the spell.
Is something going to like get in the way, or however you're
Look
going to
at
ask it?
that. We do. Do you have too much fun?
Have a good one. I'll see you next week. Hopefully, I'll have all the things figured out as to why some of them just don't want to work. But
Right.
it's just the one now, and I could get either tabletop or you. So we'll just sort it out.
You're more important than
Give me
table,
something-
John.
give me some- oh, I just have to do that.
Mhm.
Got it. Cool. See you next week.
Later.
See you, bud. What did I said? Would anything actively try to stop us from retrieving it, or did I already answer?
From, yeah.
Yeah, that led to the next question,
From
which was
grabbing it, or
You asked if anything would try to stop you from retrieving it, and he said, absolutely.
yes, but you could just grab it.
But you
So
could just come
it's-
up and take it.
So there's
it just depends.
some sort of something in the middle there.
Some nuance
informationally.
that isn't hit yet.
Is this item protected by a trap?
it's a good question.
No.
I'll think of shit on the drive home. Can't think of it.
How does the item work? Think about like how does the item work? Bless you.
Does the item give you many limbs?
Well, no, I don't mean that.
That's
but
what
what
we're
do you
over here
know?
talking about extra limbs.
Not specifically
It's like
this
you
item,
turn
but
into
all
a
of these
spider.
items.
Oh, right.
All the Sparkforge items. How do they work? From what you guys know.
You have to go through a trial.
To prove you're worthy to do the thing.
Uh-huh.
Are any of us worthy of this item?
Mayhaps.
The answer's getting kind of weird.
That's kind of vague.
That's 2, right?
So you can't take the thing, but you can walk up and like interact with it, or you can't retrieve it. You can't take the item and bring it with you, but you could take it. So what does that mean? What question could you ask for that? Just as a thought.
Is the item of a size that can be managed by an individual?
No,
I can't hear him.
Don't make me do.
Yes. Because the way you word it is how the magic works. You wanted to be the spellcaster. He's the barbarian.
That's fair. Is this an item that can be wielded by, or what's it useful?
Just physically manipulated or managed by an individual. Just something that can be carried or taken or just like physically dealt with by a single person. Or is it like a, again, can't do the or thing, so just the yes or no, or can it be managed by a single person, whether it's not like a fucking castle or some fucking other kind of shit, to where it's like, oh, we can't really take it somewhere because it's physically too fucking big to move.
Can we physically take this item with us?
Situationally?
That's not an answer.
Sounds like whatever it is might
Sounds like we got to
meld
do, like we,
to whoever
yeah.
succeeds its trial.
I see that. That makes sense.
Like, let's say you didn't have gasoline and you wanted to take a car somewhere. Like, if you showed up with a tank of gas, yeah, you could drive that car anywhere you want. If you didn't show up with that tank of gas, you're not getting that car very far. So, situationally. What would you have to do to be able to meld with it?
We probably have to beat its trial.
So you have to successfully complete the trial, whatever that entails for each item.
Do you have to succeed in its trial to be able to wield it?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Do any of our party currently possess or potentially possess the skills to complete
the
this
trial.
trial?
Does any member of our party possess the skills to complete this trial?
Potentially.
So it sounds like either a not yet or we need to find some more hands.
Potentially, of course, to me sounds like a resounding yes. We just have to
Just gotta do it.
stack it in our favor, whoever does the trial.
Well, and you have to remember as well, from what you know, people who still have room for growth are incapable of passing the trials. So that's the first thing to think about.
Right.
Yeah, so we definitely have to be maxed out.
Which is why, hopefully, the journey to one of these things will get us there, because what the fuck else are we doing?
Some of them you can capture, and those will get you a milestone, and you won't be able to do the trial. Some of them, maybe, in the halls of beauty, they're just like, oh, you want to try the trial? That's a fun thing to watch. Go ahead. Oh, you're going to take it? No. Fuck yourself. This is ours.
It's like, that's not how the deal works, man.
So,
How are you gonna tell?
because
how
it
the
sounds
deal
like you
works?
can, I mean, you guys would have enough common sense between your characters and the way it works. It sounds like you can just walk up to this thing and do the trial.
Yeah.
If you pass the trial, you take it. If you fail the trial, everybody sits around and laughs at you and goes, oh, look at him rotting from the inside out.
I was going to say, is like, this leads me to believe that since it's an easy one to approach, it's probably going to be a real hard one to fucking complete.
It's fine.
It's fine. See, it's fine. We all know
It's
how
just
fine things go.
The Spider Queen. You just gotta beat the trial of the Spider Queen.
It's fine. Totally fine.
So, some of them will, and I mean, some of them you'll be able to go and kill things. Like you could go kill a couple dragons and other things. Kill a couple dragons, couple giants. Get probably, I think there's 2 levels in there.
I mean, we're playing
And then
Milestone, and right now it feels like we skipped half of the game and we're in Endgame, but we don't have the ability to pursue Endgame, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Well, you're 16, right?
Yeah, level 16. And still dying.
Aggressively.
Impressively.
You can be level 20 and still die.
Dying against level, like, CR2 creatures.
CR, it was a C, and that's the thing. Like literally something like a mind flayer, or I mean, an intellect devourer is something that a level 1 character might encounter
Right.
and have no issue with. But also at the same time, there's just a chance that the dice get against you, and you're like, oh, that thing got me. You know.
The world turned into
It's
a
different.
cold, dark place so fast.
Yeah. But we will call it there. There are lots of different potential milestones out there. Gaining any of these is going to give everybody a milestone. You can also just go and, like, if you went out there and started killing dragons and giants, homeboy over here just needs to be fed.
Yeah, he can get milestones.
He doesn't do milestones.
Yeah.
He just needs to be fed.
He
So I mean,
things.
if you guys go and you're going and doing, like, if you walk to this place and you did a trial and got one, and you go and find another one to do a trial, you guys could effectively, like, go and hit milestones, and he might not get anything, because if he's not being fed, he's not growing. You know. So it's just kind of how you play. So I mean, you can go somewhere if you went in there and started killing giants and dragons. No one's going to spike up to 20 real quick.
Yeah, except we can see ancient dragons, 3 of them, from the point of entry.
The 4 of you guys versus 2 ancient dragons is deadly, but against 1 ancient dragon is barely even hard. And that's just the 4 of you, not including the shit that's on your character.
I still call bullshit on that.
Yeah.
Because literally, he breath weapons me twice, I die.
He has to get his recharge, and the first breath weapon, if you fail, you take 45 damage.
That is a huge chunk of my HP. Not to mention, he also goes, what? Claw, bite, tail slap?
If I can hit you.
Not to mention, an ancient red dragon? You probably have the same attack bonus as Norin.
No, I don't.
It's not hard to hit me when you're an ancient red dragon. I don't think so. Not if you're attacking 4 to 5 times a round, not including legendary actions.
Well, and that was
Ancient
my thought
red
too. It's
dragon.
And hitting me with something that I can't avoid.
Well, and that's the thing. Any one of them individually would be manageable. It's
My
just trying to
bite
fucking kill them.
has a 40% chance to hit you.
That's a lot, considering everything I put into my character is defenses.
And that's without you having Shield of Faith or anything like that on.
Right. But I wouldn't do that. I would need
Yeah.
to give us all much higher saves, because saving against the breath weapon is huge.
Yeah.
And it's
and-
what? It's a
DC 24 deck save.
I think I got like a +2 or 3.
Well, everybody has a minimum +6 because
Yeah.
he's around.
Yeah.
Plus a D4. So you
If
have a
you're
minimum
within 30 feet of me.
+7.
So that means we are all taking the damage. If we don't spread out,
Well, situation, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if he's further away, he can hit all of you.
Yeah.
If you guys all spread out, then yes, he'll have to target you. But then he also has to get a recharge on it, and we know he doesn't get to just breath weapon you twice without getting that recharge.
Right.
And I've had,
But that's
I
one.
had a battle that we did where we had a guy with recharge, and it took us 3 weeks to complete the battle, and I never once got my recharge.
right.
So I mean,
But
we'll see.
also, you've had mind flayers that literally have gone mind blast, next round, mind blast. Like, it's
Actually,
awesome.
my mind flayers didn't get a lot. It's just that there was 8 of them.
right.
When you have 8 mind flayers, yeah, one of them, like
Somebody's bound
2 of them
to
go
do
and they're like,
Not
boom.
hit, yeah.
But
But then you say
Mm-hmm.
3 ancient red dragons. We can do
Yeah.
1. It is still going to be tough, regardless of what their levels are and what our items do, because our items have nothing to do with the fact that it will hit us, it will do damage to us.
And then again, on top of that, that was just what we saw, and we experienced something that we didn't see.
Yeah.
When we
Gorak
heard
has
a
to be able to
thing.
hit the fucking thing, which means he has to be in his flying rage, which complicates the battle.
Yeah.
and that also depends on where you go. Because if you're gonna be like, hey, let's stand out on the plains and fight a sky full of dragons, then you're going to die.
You're right, but let's also sneak up
I'm
on
gonna die.
3 ancient red dragons while 7 adult red dragons are flying around. The odds are ridiculous there, you know? Like, it's... Chances are we'll get seen on the way there and we'll fight maybe a few red dragons just in time for the others to see what's happening and join the fun. Like,
An adult red dragon can't see him.
Right. I mean,
Cannot.
nobody can.
But then once he gives you guys all pass without trace, it's not that hard for you guys to get there.
That anything can see me. Even if I do knowledge from the past, even if I'm emboldened, I have 0 dex modifier.
I do too.
Which means you start at a 10.
And disadvantage on stealth. So I start at a 10, and the cap that I can get is like a 26 if I'm lucky.
Do you have a negative? Because he gives
No.
you plus 10.
Oh,
so
okay. So I guess
30.
I could do like a 36.
You could
And that's if I roll a nat 20
36.
and drop a 6 on my knowledge from the past.
And I don't have any of that shit, so it's pure luck on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a numbers game, but that's all it's been this entire
And
time.
you can counteract that disadvantage with trinkets.
Maybe.
Elven boots. Requires no attunement. Put them on, you have advantage on stealth checks.
What money do I have?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you guys have so much money at your disposal right now. You may not.
That's a nice
because
you
you got
guys.
so much stuff.
Right.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm not a you guys. Like, I can't, for me personally, I can't think of what can I buy to help me with situations. It's what can my character handle, which is a lot of stuff, just not this stuff. Like, we're fighting things that can actively hit me, and my whole point is to not be hit. So, like, and I'm pretty much capped. Like, so if this is the stuff that we're fighting, and then we're going to go fight things that are stronger than this stuff, like, my whole point is not get hit, and I get hit. Like, it's a bad day. I need Gorak level hit points, and I don't have it. Like, yeah, I just feel like there's something that we should be doing on the way to these things. Like, maybe it is hunting down a couple of giants and dragons, but right now I can't figure out how to aggro a couple of them. Like, there might be a cave here and there, but to me, that area sounds like if we start a fight somewhere,
Everybody's gonna come and say
everyone's
what's
going to
up.
want a piece. At least if whatever in the volcano figures out that we're there, it's going to be like, hey, guys, go fucking get rid of what that is, you know? And we need you there fully attuned, so, like, what... We're all trying to go there fully stacked, and you need an hour to do that.
Well,
At
yeah, I mean, you
least.
guys can get there and hide out and attune. The tiny hut would have
Right,
got
it
you
gives
guys
us 8
reattuned.
hours. Yeah. But then we're committed.
Well, you have the Well of Many Worlds. You can bail,
Oh, yeah, I always forget that you have well.
I got scattered.
just
so
not as...
Grab us, pull us in, throw that fucking thing down.
Drop the well and jump in.
You can technically throw down the well, and then the very next round go scatter, and I would just be like, you, then you, then you, then you, and just... And everybody just drops in, and then you step in. Like, you don't even necessarily, you don't have to,
have to give them the
put them
option to
there
step
and be like,
in.
wait. You know, you can just straight put them over and just drop them into the hole.
Yeah.
Get in your hole.
But yes, these things are going to be difficult to attain. But once you, and honestly, I'm pretty sure there's a good chance that it'll be like, oh, you're going to try the trial. Cool. This plays out. Okay, cool. Hand me your character sheet. There's a good chance that happens. But once the first one of you beats this trial and just sits there going like, are you fucking serious? Like, you'll realize like these things are basically infusing you with the power of that deity right before it became a deity. So I mean, there's a lot of power to these. It's going to allow you to basically just go and start. If you wanted, you could get Sparkforged. Like Norn could get Sparkforged and just go and start hunting gods if you wanted.
Yep.
And it would just be a thing that he could do. So I mean, that's why they are going to be very difficult to attain. That's why there's not just 22 people running around with it. You know, if they're easy to get, there would be 22 motherfuckers running around the universe with these items.
No, I'm not saying that. That makes perfect sense. 1000%. It's we're on a rock somewhere with very limited resources
You guys have so many resources.
and no
You may not know it, but to sit
exactly.
there, the
What
fact that
resources?
literally they couldn't pile all the
Yeah.
any one of them could not pile all the gemstones they have on this table.
Right.
Like that's where you're at right now. Like you'd literally start going and they'd just be falling off the table because they're so piled so high. You know.
But then who do
You
we
may not know
trade
that.
with? Who do we reach out to? Because we don't know anybody. We have to just find a random town to spend some sort of wealth or do what. But spending money, that's okay, one cool thing. I mean resources for, well, like, our goal is, okay, now we have a place. Now we're trying to establish it as, like, a base and a sanctuary. But our goal is get these spark forged items. So,
Oh, yeah.
like, there's no in between. That's what I mean. Like, the in between is, okay, well, we're gonna go feed Norin, so maybe we do just go to the material plane and just try and kill a bunch of fucking devil and shit. Like, kill a bunch of demons and shit on the material plane and just try and help the material plane. Just so you get fed.
Even then, that's it. I mean, that's one step forward in just like getting us to where we need to be. If that's what it has to do, if we have to figure out how to bump Norin up to 20 so he can be the one that gets the first item, because it has, from the description of it, like one of us is going to have to be up maxed to be able to get something.
Murk a bunch of demons and devils and shit and just feed that rod and
Well, so
Again, that's just a
Norin,
thought.
you're like sea creature. What's the god of the ocean? The goddess of seas.
Melora.
Melora. So what do you know about the Melora one?
It's on the material plane.
Do you know any aquatic creatures who do massive amounts of research who might know a little bit more that you could talk to?
We have
Oh,
civic
yeah.
hybrids.
The homies.
Do you
really
literally
do.
have one of the strongest enclaves of the simic hybrids brought to your plane of existence or brought to your base? I mean, there's lots of puzzle pieces on the board right now. It's just putting them together.
Oh boy.
Do you think Norn would be able to pass a trial of the goddess of the oceans?
Probably.
Certainly hope so, yeah.
Because mostly Squidman can't do it. I don't know who can.
Yeah. But just a thought. Anyways, we're still going, so I'm gonna go shut all this off. We'll call it there. Thank you guys for joining us and watching us, and we will pick up next week. Again, hopefully all the cameras and everything work more to my liking next week. But
Jeez.
thank you.
Smash my freaking foot. Oh boy.